it said. I shook Eric, waking him from his fainting spell. He sat up groggily, rubbing the back of his head, where he knocked it against the hardwood.
What the fuck?
What
So,
happened?
according to YouTube,
He
my
muttered.
stream stopped two
Gotta
hours
say this.
ago.
A
She's
lot.
But,
on Red Death
I
Gaming.
replied.
but,
He blinked,
oh my
and his
god,
eyes
what the
scanned the
fuck?
room. Then he
I
froze,
wish she will be
his
again in a
hand
moment.
gripping my
Yeah.
arm as he looked up at the man by the river,
Oh my
standing
god.
before
Yeah, it
us,
said I stopped.
dressed in his
YouTube said
baseball
stop
cap,
streaming
checkered
2 hours
shirt,
ago, but
and
according
dirty
to my
jeans.
PlayStation, I was
The
still
wolf
streaming.
mask he wore, hay,
What the
and
fuck?
its
This is
eyes
weird.
glowed
That
yellow.
happens sometimes with
It's
PlayStation. You
nearly
gotta just
dark,
restart it.
the
Yeah,
man said. Yeah,
Weird shit happens with
I
the
know,
YouTube on
I
the
said
PlayStation
easily.
once
they
in a while.
do. Very,
You're
very,
right,
very
Eric.
funky shit.
He looked from the man back to me, his mind probably reeling. What's going on? He whispered. I shrugged. It was the truth. I had no idea what was going on. When the man had cornered me at the end of the hallway, I expected myself to be torn limb from limb, maybe have my teeth made a nice necklace. Instead, he just said it was nearly dark and stood there expectant. It took me a few moments before I realized he wasn't going to attack me. And that's when I awkwardly walked around him and came to check on Eric. I don't think he's going to hurt us, I said. Not that I knew that for sure, but I figured if we'd survived this long, then it
I'm
might be in
back
the
up.
clear. Although I don't really
Or
know what his
live,
deal
shall I
is,
say.
I said.
Ow, shit.
Eric stood, steadying himself against me. He studied the man. What if he's warning us? What if he was warning us back then, too? The
Oh,
book
yeah.
flashed in my mind. The Mysteries of the Cryptids, a pulp fiction novel the man had given me during our last encounter back when I was just a kid.
There we
Eric had
go.
packed it into one of Grandma's moving boxes, not even realizing it. If he is, then he probably wants us to read that book, I said. I marched from the room, past the
Ah,
man,
shit.
and tore open the box of books. I rifled through it, tossing whatever I
Okay.
didn't read
On you
every which
stupid
direction.
thing. There we go.
Finally,
No.
at the bottom, I
Hate this
found it.
fucking laptop.
I picked it up
Alright, I gotta
and ran my
sit
fingers
up.
over its faded cover. The thing was in pretty bad shape, with some of the pages fused together from water damage, river crossing. The illustration on the front was of a Sasquatch being strangled by a sea monster.
Okay.
Lovely. Is this what you want us to read? I asked the man. He didn't move, didn't speak. Let me guess, I said, crossing the room back to Eric. It's nearly dark. Don't be a dick, Eric muttered. He held out a hand for the book, and I passed it to him gladly. Out of the two of us, Eric was the academic. If there was a mystery to be solved in those pages, then he would be the one to do it. This thing looks like it was written in the 50s, he said, looking over its cover, right down to the art style. He flipped the book in his hands, scanning the text on the back and reading it aloud. A compendium of mysteries known to man. Cryptids have long since fascinated the scientific community, though their existence is highly contested. Here are three great tales, sure to frighten and entertain.
Certainly
Find a
frighten and
craft, and
entertain.
I'll
Make you
understand text,
make the
as if he might
goosebumps
be doing
stand up on the
something.
back of your neck.
A moment
Make
later,
titties
he
odd.
shook his head.
Make your
This
titties
looks like an
hard.
old monster novel. He stared at the man. Is this a prank? I mean, if it is, it's pretty good.
If
Aren't
it
you
is
really
good.
coming back for me? The man didn't
Jesus
speak.
Christ, this fucking
Eric looked at
panda, I
me and
swear to
sighed.
God.
Uh,
Like if this is a prank, I'm scared
he
shitless.
can read it.
I'm
Sure,
so
I
shaking in my
said,
boots, yo.
slipping the book from his grip. We'll read it on the way back down the mountain. I stuck the book in my jacket pocket and made for the
Oh, good. I
stairwell.
was worried you would have
The
shoved the book
man
up your
stepped in front
ass.
of me.
Oh yeah.
It's weird.
Some people have like
Soft,
weird fetishes and
he
shit.
said. You're right. And that's our cue, Eric. Let's go. Eric looked at me in disbelief. Matt, this is practically what we've been waiting for. The answers are
Ooh,
here,
it's raining.
He gestured incredulously at the man. Here he is, and he isn't even trying to beat us or whatever. Don't you want to figure this out? Look, I said, nobody said we needed to sort this shit out tonight. We can take the book.
I've also been streaming some of the Resident Evil 2 remake.
Daylight hour. It all together. I said, a chill ran through
I'm
me.
getting very, 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 very close to finishing the A side.
Our first night was returning too, and I wasn't ready to face that again. Talking was one thing, but this therapeutic walk down memory lane had grown a bit too real for my liking. Sound good? I said. Eric stared at me with stubborn defiance. If we inherited anything from our late grandmother, it was our unfailing resistance, having our minds changed after they'd been made up. Luckily for me, I was more stubborn by a mile, and Eric knew that. Sure enough, he folded his arms and looked sidelong to the window. All right, fine, he said. We'll leave tonight, but I'm not kidding about this. We do as you say, study that book, and then come back. I nodded. In a minute. I hated this. Don't get me wrong. It scared me in all the wrong ways. But I've been through enough hours of therapy and dumped enough money.
Ah, we're here! Oh my god, we're here! But I only got one panda because the other one was being too fucking stubborn.
I promise you we'll be back tomorrow.
Come on.
I said.
Here, have another.
Eric waved me on. Sure. Whatever, let's go. I let out a sigh of relief. Thankful that Eric.
Alright, come
You
on,
got the
little buddy.
smiley one or the frowny one?
I got the smiley one.
Wolfie, you heard us. We'll be back first thing
Yeah,
tomorrow.
Alright,
better
come on.
anyway.
Come on, buddy.
The other one will come along eventually. He just stopped at one of the bamboo things.
By the wrist. It's nearly dark.
Did he just stop by the bamboo thing or did he fall off?
I don't know. I think he just stopped by the bamboo thing.
I get that.
Come on, little guy.
That's sort of why we wanted to
Actually, you're not a little guy at all.
I could feel my wrist.
Oh, no, 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 no. You get back inside. You... Oh, fuck. Great, now I got two pandas out here.
Grabbing the man's finger.
Alright, come on. Well, let's go.
Yeah, keep bringing pandas to the end of the bridge.
Come on, little guy. Come on.
The man growled, his voice now guttural and beast-like. His wolf teeth dripped saliva, and his eyes glared with a wild rage.
Come on. Stop being lazy. Get inside. And push your big ass in. Get in. Get in. Come on. Are you fucking kidding me? You stupid panda. Come on.
The man's body twitched, and he pulled me effortlessly toward his jaws. The reek was overwhelming. I gagged, my body in sensory overload. With a violent jerk, I felt my wrist snap.
Jesus Christ, is there even any room in here? Oh, there's a little bit of room. Okay. Come on, guys.
I struggled onto my hands and knees.
My God, I can't even tell. The other way.
My vision blurring and
Out of the way. Out of the way.
And I wasn't sure if it was
No, 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 no. You get back inside.
Standing on my own 2 feet so that I could look at the wolf-faced bastard in the eyes. If this guy was going to kill us, I wasn't going to take it lying down. I'd make him earn it. I dashed into the den, Eric staring after me, dumbfounded. There, by the fireplace, exactly what I was looking for. I gripped the fire iron holding it before me with my good hand, and rushed back into the kitchen. Get behind me, Eric, I shouted. Get the hell out of here.
He's like, I'm gonna bash this fucker in the face.
Had he seriously hit me? No, it wasn't that. It was that
No, would you get in here, you stupid fucking panda?
freezing transfixed out of the 4 people.
I can't. Oh my god. There's too many others that are just like surrounding him.
I could hardly think past
Why are you stopping? Just keep coming to the end of the bridge.
but I still found the will to fight. Eric?
Oh. I think we got it. We got it. Cool. Alright, I got one in.
Behind me, Eric.
In where?
Panda Sanctuary.
At the end of the bridge.
Toward the 4 pane. Something's out there, man. My legs felt weak, and for a moment I forgot about my wrist and nose. I forgot about the throbbing hurt. What's out there? I asked. Memories clawed at the edges of my mind, and I pushed them down. I needed to focus. Eric looked back to the window, and a moment later, ear-splitting roar rang out, so loud that I couldn't tell which direction from. It felt like it was everywhere all at once. Get away from the window, I shouted. He took a couple unsteady steps backward. It's starting. I turned to the man, who stood as still as ever. What the hell are you doing to us? I screamed. I brought the fire iron down on him, but he grabbed it and tossed it aside, as if it were a piece of styrofoam. It's dark, he growled. A thud sounded against the cabin's heavy door. Then another. The timber of the entire structure shook, dust falling down from the rafters, and whatever Uncle Jake had failed to take with him crashing to the floor. Matt! Eric
Bah.
It's happening again. I swallowed. Memories rushed around me, my mind smothered by them. When he died, I said
Oh.
Whoa, I just saw lightning.
Eric was sweating.
Yo, we got snow on the bridge.
I know.
Holy
I shoveled some of it.
shit.
I got
Then we have to hide.
Oh, I
a
see
bunch
what
of
you mean.
snowballs from
Oh
it.
my god. There's actually another fucking sanctuary at the very end of the bridge. I'm in.
Yes.
Okay.
Seeing as we have to get the pandas all the way across the bridge.
Oy vey, alright. Well, try going for the other one.
And with as much strength as I had in my right hand, flung it clear through. The front door exploded, flying across the vestibule and colliding against the far wall with a death crash. Something screeched.
Now I gotta pee. Stupid alcohol.
Thunderous footfall. I didn't need to say a damn thing. Eric had already climbed through the
I didn't
shop
see a
window.
damn
He
thing.
reached inside and helped me to get myself up to the sill. Then I rolled over it and landed in the dirt outside. Throwing his arm under my own, he heaved my feet. I immediately noticed a tire where it shouldn't have been, with a massive bite mark in it. My eyes drifted to my car in horror. Its roof had been caved in, and half of its wheels were flattened. I spared a moment to look back at the man. He was motionless, though it was hard to call him a man anymore. The mask looked to have fused with his neck, and his hands, or paws, were now covered in fur, with long, dark claws. His jeans had been torn, and he stood upon 2 legs, curved in the fashion of a bipedal wolf. His jaws salivated as he stared back at me. We're gonna read it, I shouted at him. I don't know why I did, or if he could even understand me. All I knew was that he'd given me that book for a reason, and whatever was happening was intrinsically linked to it. If there was an answer, best, it was in those pages. I felt myself being dragged away by Eric. All right, Matt, let's go. The two of us fled into the tree line. Our torn to pieces.
Alright.
Eric and
Do
I
I have
took to the
any
logs,
shit in
and
my
my lungs felt
grinder?
like they caught fire.
Oh, a little bit of
Exhausted,
weed. I got a
I
little bit
felt
of
the hurt,
weed.
the
Just,
groan,
just
the pain of my
touch.
smashed face, broken wrist,
Just a
and a
touch.
lifetime of poor
And
decisions that
there.
finally caught up with me. I'm done. I breathed. Eric doubled back, crouching next to me. Take it easy, man. Look. He pointed ahead. We're nearly to the river. Let's get you some water. So we were. Now that I was catching my breath, the rest of my senses seemed to sharpen again. I could hear the rushing current just barely through the howling wind. I pushed myself to my feet, and the two of us made our way to the bank, where I dropped to my knees and slurped as much water as my mouth could hold. Pass me the book, Eric said. I reached inside my jacket and handed it to him, its pages rolling in the storm. He held it closed, up to the light of the moon. The entire time you have this, he said, squinting at the cover. And you never
Oh
noticed
shit,
the
that's a lot of
awful?
smoke.
I looked at him, forcing down the water from my mouth.
Oh, that burns
I
my
mean,
throat.
it's not like I had it my whole life. I left it here when we went home. I said, I really didn't need any mementos of that week. Who wrote it? Grandma, he said incredulously. He turned the book toward me and jabbed a finger at the bottom text. Yoshi Castro. Well, I'll be damned. Don't sweat it, Eric said, shaking his head. I missed it on first glance, too. He glanced
Red
around,
rum.
no doubt scouting for a place free from wind with enough moonlight to read by. Eventually, he settled on a large boulder of water, shielded from the storm by a gnarled fir tree. He clambered up to it with some effort.
Hi, Yasmin.
He called down to me.
Boy, you're looking at me like you want a nap.
I said,
Silly
come to
cat.
think of it, I had no idea about anything Grandma did besides come over every
Are you
Christmas
going to bed?
and bake apple tarts.
Yup.
Mom never talked
I'll
about
get the
it.
next one.
Eric flipped the
Okay.
book open to the first page and adjusted his glasses. Mind keeping a lookout while I peruse this thing? I nodded, rising from the riverbed and looking up and down the shore. No sign of the man, and no sign of the beast that destroyed the cabin either.
Alright, get a
Ooh.
beverage, then I will puff
I sat
down
on the
with you.
roof,
Puff the
the
magic
trees
dragon.
over me,
He lives by the
scratching
sea.
my throat.
Something, something, something. I think I have
Land
to
of
pee.
Honolulu.
Huh?
What?
what? What,
What?
man? I
What?
just want, I just wanted some water, man.
Swatted
What you
some
talking
water,
about,
man.
man?
Oh my god. That bong rip was, ooh, that was harsh.
And since you went,
You
it seems bizarre to have been all of it. What she knows about hey,
getting that
what she
water?
believes, she must
I got tea.
to me. The
Ah,
air is
She's
yes.
unforced.
soon enough I'll have to top off my tea.
My eyes turn and
So I
dilate,
go through so much of it.
draining every outcrop of life.
Especially when I'm high and I got that cotton mouth, yo.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
The only sound of the river hose. Eric flipping through the pages, whispering. Maybe I was making a bigger deal about things than I needed to. I closed my eyes,
Much,
tried the breathing exercises my therapist
yeah.
recommended.
Fuck
Then another
therapist.
splash,
Fuck your
closer,
therapist.
louder. I
What color
straightened
hair
up
does your
again.
therapist have?
Hidden beneath the glow of the
Mm-hmm.
full moon, the river's dancing waves were difficult to keep track of. Lights gleamed off of them one moment, then
God
died
damn,
again.
it's crazy how far this
Tall
bridge
breakers
extends,
caught
but
my
we
eye,
still have a
but
ways
when
to
I
go
looked,
to the
I see
castle.
only dark
I
water
can't
turned
stand,
ugly.
I can't stand that I can
Was
still see
some
this
sort of
fucking
sign moving
village.
toward us?
I know, right?
Eric
Because it takes forever to get enough blocks to move more.
Oh, are you talking about the village that well, the raid happened?
Something felt wrong
Yep.
about
That was
it was the same
fun.
feeling I'd had when I first came upon the
Couldn't
main
believe
trail.
it. We whooped their
My mind
asses.
was picking up on things that I hadn't yet
What was a double
fully
raid?
processed. Eric,
Seemed like
I
it
called,
just wouldn't
picking my
stop.
footsteps on the
It says it
stone
was two of them.
shore.
One did stop. We won, and then there was a second
Right.
one.
He looked up, perplexed. Why? He adjusted his glasses and
I
listened.
like the noises they make when you hit them. They sound like
Yeah, you go
Squidward.
meow,
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 meow.
Speed, man. Just
meow,
get off the horse.
meow,
It's like,
meow.
Come
okay,
over here,
Squidward.
I said,
We
glancing
unhappy
upward.
today?
The moon shone,
You in a
pale
bad mood
and ominous
today?
through drifting clouds.
Where's that?
There's plenty of light over
Okay,
here.
where's that other
I'm
stupid
nearly
panda?
finished. It's
Ah,
just
there he is. He's just still
now.
hanging out in the bamboo.
Thrilling. He turned his page and closed the book
Come here,
and
buddy.
slid down the big
Hi.
rock
You
carefully.
gonna come here now?
He
Are you
steadied
actually gonna
himself
come to me?
on the wet
Come
climbing
on.
stone
Oh, I know you
and
like that
walked
bamboo.
toward me.
Let's go.
For God's sake,
Come
man.
on. Come on. Get back
Another
out on the
splash.
bridge like a good
The
little
two
panda.
met the
Come
man by
on.
the river. I said,
Good little guy. Come
the
on.
pain in my wrist eased.
That's.
I
Oh,
stepped
see, now he's moving
clear.
faster.
I came back
It's weird.
down
He's
to
not a
The one,
smile.
the one with the frown moves
what?
The
fast.
one with the
Eric
frown
said,
moves fast. This is
bracing himself
crazy.
for
Yeah, the
more
smiley
emotion.
one is the more
It's the
temperate
slow
one. That's why it
one.
moves so
Jake
slow.
brought us down quickly.
Oh,
I was
really? I
so
thought the
excited
smiley
that
one
I
would be
Yeah,
more
there's
of.
forgot
normal
about the
panda,
mysteries.
brown
Right.
panda,
I left it
right?
on the
Uh-huh.
Sneezy
riverbank.
panda,
I said,
Uh-huh.
unhappy
I was
panda,
so
happy
transfixed by the river
panda,
now.
timid
Something
panda,
was in there.
and what's the
I
last
knew it.
panda? There's one
Well, there
last
is
As
the
one.
I
brown
found the camera,
panda.
I already
I
listed that
saw
one.
something in the waves. I continued, like a fish.
There's the
The fish
aggressive. Oh,
finally
temperamental,
moving again.
aggressive. Yeah.
Turned, following my gaze to the river, though he looked skeptical. I shook my head. Bigger, I think. I don't know.
Well, at
I
least
just
this
grabbed the book
guy's.
and ran.
Yeah, 'cause
I
there was
hadn't
no way I
seen
was gonna have the
this
patience to
one
get
near
that
the
other one
shore.
towards the
I
other.
backed up, nearly
Hey, you
slipping
gotta
on the
get a
stones
smiley one across
behind
eventually,
us.
otherwise we
The
can't breed them.
pitch
True.
black of
That's
the woods,
true.
and in front of us, whatever lurked in the
Thank
water.
God this one moves
You hear that?
faster.
Eric nodded,
I was about ready
stashing
to
the book in his
pull all
pocket.
my hair out with the other
After
one.
what happened earlier, I say we don't take any chance. Let's find somewhere safer to read. Where, though? I thought. The woods? We'd get lost, and there was no question of that. Back to the cabin, or whatever was left of it. No point. The car was totaled, and besides, whatever beast had come knocking didn't sound nearly as reasonable. It was probably still there. No, we were resigned to the river. We just need to be careful and stay as far from the shore as we could. Good Lord, said a voice nearby. I jumped, my arm flying in front of Eric instinctively. Boys have really worked yourselves up, haven't you? I wheeled around to see a familiar face standing at the height of the riverbank, a stone in his hand. He hurled it, and it landed in the water with a heavy splash. Uncle Jake began walking down the bank, slowly, with a sway in his step, like he'd been drinking. Good news, boy, he said. He shot us a smile, but it felt wrong, horrible. His eyes were unfocused, and his tongue balled from his mouth. I just found if and wait to see you. Uncle Jake ambled toward us, his pace irregular. One moment he moved slowly, the next frantically. His head seemed limp on his neck, rolling about with his momentum. I, I was worried about you two, he said. Matt, Eric muttered. I held up my hand in quiet. I was uncomfortable about all of this, and Jake didn't seem like himself after everything else that happened tonight. I wasn't taking chances with anybody, family or otherwise, but still, I needed to know what the situation was. I needed to hear him speak. My eyes darted around, taking stock of our surroundings. If it came to a fight, I wanted to be ready. I cursed myself for letting the man
I
inspire
cursed
him.
myself.
Still, there was always the river. And in a 2 against 1, Eric and I had a chance against our uncle with my busted wrist. I swiveled my gaze back to Jake. He was only a couple car lengths away from us now, and I could see him more clearly. His eyes were pale, milky, and faded, like he was drugged. His mess of dark hair shot out from all angles beneath his trucker cap. I had never seen him in such a sorry state. Boys, he said, burping, I just need to talk to you for a second about Griff. He's just up ahead, but he's scared of the water. He gestured toward the wood, swaying on the spot. Come see him. I didn't say anything. I knew Griff was dead. I pulled his scorched skull out of the fireplace myself, and Eric had been there with me. Jake took a couple of frantic steps forward. I recoiled, putting myself in front of Eric. Call it older brother instincts, call it stupidity. All I knew was this cabin wasn't going to claim any more of my family. Oh, Jake said, stopping and patting his head. Aren't you afraid? Another burp. Of me? What's going on
Damn.
here? I said quietly.
Yeah, that really, that got you there,
He chuckled,
Hmm.
feet
huh?
racing to keep his balance. Come on, Matthew, Eric. Let's go. Another step forward. Don't take another step, I said. Stay the hell back. He paused, his demeanor changing. His face drooped, his sing-song smile replaced by a snarl showing a row of yellow teeth. Boys were supposed to join us a long time ago, but she
Ah, he
got
crawled over the
caught.
bed. That's cute.
No, she didn't, Eric said, stepping out from behind me. He held the book in his hands, holding it up to Jake. Do you realize how sick this whole thing was? She spared us. I had no idea what either of them were talking about, but clearly Eric had read something in mysteries while up on that rock. And whatever he'd read, Jake knew about it
Oh
too.
shit, I almost fell off the bridge.
There's
That would have been
mystery.
bad.
Jake spat. He took off his cap and chucked it to the side, the corner of his mouth twitching. At the cost of the rest of us, maybe. He took a shambling step forward, his eyes cold with menace. What makes you better than me? I knelt down, using
Um.
Eric's tall frame as cover from Jake's
Hmm.
vision. My good hand found his
Hmm.
size
A
rock,
fox is
and I
on the
clutched it,
bridge.
rising back to my feet and
Interesting.
placing it in my jacket
Hi.
pocket discreetly.
Hmm.
We're not better than you,
Oh,
Eric
fox.
said,
Cool.
but that doesn't mean we deserve to
Can you
become
Google
monsters
what
either.
I'm supposed to give him?
Deserve to
Oh,
become monsters, I thought? What
oh
the
boy.
hell had Eric read?
All right, let me
You
let
think
me get to
I'm
that
a monster?
place first.
Jake bellowed, eyes bulging. He slammed his finger to his chest. I'm a product of progress, just like you should have been. My heart thundered. I didn't know this man anymore. His
Oh
face
no,
was
no,
cold.
no, no, you don't. Are
I
you
hoped the
fucking
answer
kidding
was
me, you
yes.
stupid
I
panda?
needed something to make sense tonight. Dreams,
Well,
yeah,
while he's like
Jake said,
munching on
his
the bamboo
wide
fields,
cataract
this
eyes
one
looking from me to
spot, I'll
brother.
look for your.
You ain't told him
What
yet,
do you need
have
to
you?
know about the fox?
He
What
lied
do
to
I
me
give
and
him?
took
Can
a
I
book
tame
away.
one? What's the deal?
What's he talking
Okay.
about? I asked. Eric swallowed. He's talking about mystery. No shit, I said, getting impatient. What about it? Help me out here, man. I'm sorry, he said, shaking his head. More anxiety. When it came down on Eric, it came down thick.
How to tame a
The
fox
book's
in
written
Minecraft.
like an
Okay.
autobiography. I thought it was a stupid pulp novel grant.
So you tame a fox. You need to get 2 existing adult foxes to mate and procreate. Let's see. Naturally spawned foxes cannot ever be fully tamed, but if you encourage 2 foxes to breed, then their baby fox kit will be tame and fully loyal to you. To get 2 adult foxes to breed, you have to feed 1 sweet berry to each fox. So use sweet berries as opposed to seeds.
Oh, that's weird because there's only one of them. So, okay.
Oh, that sucks.
So I'm running around up here, he ain't hurting
I
nobody.
wonder if it's like using bamboo on the panda. Like, it makes me wonder if
I just thought it was odd that he spawned up here.
I'd have one shot to clock him with a stone. Talk to me, I said. Talk to you. You're so boring, man. All you'd ever done is
ouch. Good
get
boy.
some plane and
Come on.
go.
No,
This
get back.
script is all
Back.
made
Back, 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 back.
Eric.
Back, you
Your brother
stupid
always did
panda.
fun. And now he's on and figured out my mother's secret.
Get off the...
Eric,
Oh my god, the
I
stupid
said,
panda.
I really need you to get me up to speed. The book, man, it's English.
He's looking at
What
the
about the book?
bamboo plants, it
I
looks
kept
like.
Yeah, it's because
reminding
there's
Eric
loose bamboo in there. You gotta pick it up
the
Okay.
stone
before he gets
so
off the
Oh.
bridge.
that I could
Oh,
feel
okay.
my palm cramping. The grammar wasn't some writer documenting cryptids, man.
Okay.
He said. He brandished the paperback
What the hell?
and
Where...
snapped it open,
Did I
flipping
grab
through
it?
it aggressively.
I don't see any
The
more.
card stopped on a page. He thrust it in my face. I pulled my
I'm
head
trying to
back and
figure out
squeezed.
where...
It faded from years of
I
aging,
mean, I am holding
dripping into
bamboo.
water damage from the river
So
crossing.
go down the bridge.
The left page
Alright.
looked like a list of ingredients with pencil
Alright, well,
markings
I
over
think you can
ink,
stop pushing him
and
back now.
beside them a set of tiny bulleted instructions. On the right was a diagram, too
You're going the
complex for
wrong
me to
way.
properly make
Oh.
out, given the condition of the book.
Alright, come on.
Wait, what? Some of the markings look to be runes. No, they were definitely runes. He wasn't looking for
Come
cryptids, Matt,
on.
Eric said breathlessly. He was making them. Making cryptids? My mind reeled. How did somebody make a cryptid? What the hell was our grandma doing? I brought a hand to my forehead, winced as memories hit me like a cement truck. It's medicine, Matthew. Now be still and no crying. We don't want to worry. But I feel fine, Grandma. I don't need any medicine. Everybody needs this medicine. Give me your arm. What about Eric? He'll get it too.
Oh, he'll get it too, alright.
Uncle Jake clapped his hands and broke me from my reverie. Oh, good work, Eric. Good work. This is why I always said great for the cabin. His eyes gleamed. Now, why don't we all go for a little hike as a family? I have something I'd like to tell you. After all of this, Eric said, you must be drunk. I don't think he's drunk, I said. The memory subsided. The sound of the rushing river returned, along with the slipping
Oh no!
Why were these memories so invasive?
Fuck.
So
He
vivid?
fell off.
I shook the thought away. I needed to get us out
So
of
go
this
grab a
situation
couple more and
first.
try again.
He's
Uh,
taken something to keep
That's
him
why we got so
normal,
many.
I
He'll be
said.
fine.
What?
If he
Eric said.
if he hit the ground, he
He
won't be
winced
fine.
while
But if he hit the
whispering
water, he'll be
something.
Yeah, that's what I
fine.
was
If he
thinking.
hit the
Like, I
ground, he's
hope
already gone.
he
He's
hit
dead.
water. Oh shit, I don't think he hit water.
No.
Oops, rest in
I
peace,
never was
Panda.
the reader between us, was I? My hands found the in my pocket,
Make
and I
sure
thumbed at it,
so.
feeling the weight, the
Just
shape.
like the other
I
one
remembered Grandma giving me a kind of medicine.
did. One did
I said,
Panda.
my stomach felt upside down just talking
Sat
about
like
this.
there's a mass
I already knew
panda
what it would taste.
grave.
Jake's taken some medicine himself. Maybe something that keeps him from becoming. whatever Grandma meant for him to be. Jake frowned, his small, milky eyes narrowing.
Milky
Why are you here,
eyes.
Patty?
His
He
small
asked.
milky eyes.
I said quietly. He stepped forward,
I've never
giving me
heard
orders to
eyes
take them
described
one
as
after another.
milky.
His body
I have.
swayed at the sudden
I
sound.
usually hear
From the
milky
edges of his
skin.
mouth, his tongue flicked out, licking at his lips. Is that why you're so afraid of me? He said. Because you think there's a monster underneath. I'm not afraid of you. I lied. Sweet tone. Jake let loose a howling laugh. Matt, Eric said, stepping closer to me. I don't think we should be provoking him. Too late for that, I thought.
Get this one
Jake
out.
was here
Oh,
for
come
the
on.
taking, and it
Come on, little
involved
guy.
us.
Or
I
you're not
wasn't
little.
interested in
You're not
letting
little at
Jake
all.
go. Tell you what, Uncle, I said, stepping forward. His eyes darted from my striding feet to my face. He looked offended that I'd even considered myself in the same league as him. Walk away right now, and I
Oh,
won't
you stay
murder
there.
you. His shoulders thrust back, and his head jerked forward. His milk white eyes bulged.
Milk white
Sure, eh?
eyes.
He said in a voice that was beginning to sound nothing like his own. Does your hair? Oh, you're delusional. His entire body trembled, his feet stumbling in an effort to stay upright. Something's happening, Eric said. Now cut it out, Matt. A lot was happening. More would soon be happening. I could guarantee that. Now give me an opening, dear uncle. My therapist thinks
Oh,
I've got
no,
the
no.
right idea,
Oh.
actually. That
Getting
my
him
uncle
over this side is,
is
whew,
trash.
trying to turn him around that bridge. It's kind of a
I
tight
am,
turn.
Jake said,
One
dropping
almost fell off,
into
thank
a
God he
trauma.
didn't.
A product of progress. Whatever he'd taken to keep him level, his emotions were throwing it out of whack. Show me, I said, doing my best to keep my voice level. With a growl, he launched himself toward me, his catatonic limbs flying about, slaves to his own momentum. I took a step backward, steadying myself on my rear leg while I pulled out the stone with my good hand. I smashed the stone against his skull with all the force I could manage. I heard a sharp crack and then a groan as my uncle dropped wordlessly onto the rocky shore. Eric and I stood there transfixed for several moments, my heart feeling like it might beat out of my chest. My breaths came in heat. Was he unconscious? We're trying to provoke him, Eric said, stepping carefully around the other side of Jake's body. I nodded. Yeah? Now let's make sure he stays down. I said. I lifted the rock in my hand, ready to bash my uncle's skull to a pulp. Eric pushed me away. What the hell? He said. You can't kill him, Matt. I can't kill him, I thought. I did my best not to punch Eric square in the jaw. Look around you, man. We're screwed out here. You think Jake's a friend of ours? That he's going to help us down the mountain? I took a few steps away, running a stressed hand through my long hair. What do you think's going to happen when he wakes up, huh? You think he just calls it a day and lets us go? I don't know, Eric stuttered. But I know we're not murderers. We're not like him. His eyes drifted to Jake's unmoving body, his expression torn. If we think that,
Oh, they're actually following in a
how are we
line.
going
This
to
is
say it?
good.
I stomped toward him and grabbed him roughly by his shirt
Very,
front.
very, very, very
Come on,
uniformed. This makes me
Eric,
very
I
happy.
growled. How about we're better? Because we didn't lure two nephews out here to try and get them to become Draculas. How about we're better? Because we didn't give two kids a lifetime of trauma. Eric was silent, his eyes wet behind his
Oh,
glasses.
God, that's
I let
obsidian
my hand
blocks. And
fall from
okay.
his shirt. and some
Wow, they're
random
staying in
teenager.
line. Cool.
His
Cool, cool,
eyes were
cool.
closed, but after what I'd seen in him earlier, I didn't trust him to say I was safe.
Good, good, good.
Something
All
was
right.
trying to break free of him.
Big progress
Something
here.
horrible. I ran a thumb along the stone, biting my lip, weighing my options. Matt, Eric said, his hand on my shoulder, voice cracking. We have so many good memories with Uncle Jake. You remember fishing? Remember fishing? I thought, as if fishing could make up for this. Whoever Uncle Jake had been, or pretended to be, that wasn't what he was anymore. My stomach sunk as I imagined him waking up now, turning on us, but without the handicap of whatever medicine he'd taken to keep him human. I don't have a choice,
Oh
I
no,
said,
what's this?
as I
What?
brought the
No.
stone
Oh, is
down.
there loose
The
fucking...
snap of
Oh,
Jake's
get out of
heavy bones
here.
filled my ears,
Stop.
drowning the sound of the river, the roar
Right.
of the wind. I
What?
rubbed the
Oh,
stone against
now they're munching on the
with another
bamboo.
horrid, dull crunch. Eric grabbed at my jacket, trying to pull me off,
All right, come on,
but
you
I
guys.
threw him
Let's
back
So let them
go.
do their
closer to
thing
the
and just
boom.
wait. They'll
He
tell
might
want to
have been a
move, right?
foot taller than me, but he
If
weighed
not, you'll
close
just
to a
have to cut
hundred
down that
pounds
bamboo
less.
and we'll replant it.
I was, and no one was going to
Whoa, that's
stop me.
freaky. One's hopping
I
on the other.
brought the stone down
Oh,
and stood.
hi. Hi. That's
Eric said,
interesting way of movement. All right, come on, buddy. Let's go. Come on.
blood caught in my eye, and I paused with my arm in the air, still clutching the stone. Jake's face had been smashed apart. His orbital bones caved in, and his eyes rolled from open sockets. I dropped the stone to the ground, heaving breath after breath. I blinked, wiping at my face with my sleeve, and looked down to see a thick layer of crimson on my arm. Are you finished? Eric said softly, his voice uneven.
Come
I
on,
turned
you
around to face
stupid
him,
panda.
mouth half open with 1,000 reasons on my lips. Reasons that I'd done this. I had to do this. But they all evaporated
Come
when I
on.
saw his red, tear streaked eyes. His hair was even more disheveled than usual, like he'd been tearing at it for the past 5 minutes, and his face was as pale. He stifled a sob.
You know what? We'll do
Because
this.
I'm pretty
Fuck it. We're
sure
gonna
he's
have
dead
to.
now, Matt. I looked back to Jake's corpse and slowly rose to my feet. His
Just have
face
to
was
replant him.
mangled. Bone splinters lay scattered around what remained of his cheeks. I forced myself to look away, but there was something oddly intoxicating about it. The way the blood pooled beneath, the way his limbs stopped twitching after my fifth strike with the stone. I licked my lips. The medicine appears to be working well. You can go and play with your brother now, Matt. We should be okay now, I said, swallowing. My head felt woozy, hazy. Should we? Eric said, pulling off his glasses and dabbing at his eyes with, are
That's
you
it.
okay?
Come on.
What? I shook
Come
my
on.
head. Of course I
Come
was
on,
okay.
you.
I was the older brother, wasn't I? I could handle this. I handled this for years.
You know what?
Just another notch
We'll
on the
carry you over
sarcophagus.
first.
No big deal.
Screw it.
Why were my eyes ringing? I'm fine, I said. Okay, Eric said. Was that anger in his voice? It got a little hard to tell back there. He said, I. My heartbeat slowed and the world refocused. I had to. I looked at Jake and felt a sickness grow in my stomach. Had I really done that? Look, he was going to hurt us, Eric. I said the words because they were the words that seemed right to say. What was I supposed to do? Let him drag us off to God knows where and turn us into what? Eric said. Monsters?
Ooh,
I
those
shook
trees
my
are
head,
growing nicely.
feeling my vindication crumbling against his. No, man. I felt all strange, unwell. I licked my lips again. When did they get so dry? Just give me a second, will ya? He didn't say anything, just stared at me with this crushing look of disappointment where tears had streaked his cheeks earlier. They were now a bright red, flush with anger, resentment. Heaving a sigh, I walked out down the riverside, trying to piece together what had just happened, what might still be happening. Above, thunder cracked and rain pelted my face. The storm was worsening. Of course it was. He was gonna kill us, I mumbled to myself, hoping that saying the words aloud would help me understand them. Or at least he was gonna hurt us, turn us into something horrible. Definitely. I had to kill him first. I had to. I didn't have a choice. I said, no, a voice somewhere inside me said. I did have a choice. He was unconscious, wasn't he? We could have run, left him there. I chose to kill him.
Right, almost there.
More thunder,
What?
more rain. I pulled my jacket, shivering as I did my best to come to terms with what happened. There's no going back now, I said quietly, doing the self-talk my therapist recommended. I have to accept it and move forward. I made I made a difficult choice to protect my brother, and beside me, the river gurgled and a large bubble grew on the surface, popping with a wet splash. Had the current shifted? I slammed my
There's
eyes shut,
one.
trying to re-ground myself in the moment. I did my breathing exercise, focused on the cold rain, the howling wind, and the pain in my wrist. Then splash, bigger, louder
I
than
got
any
this one out of the
before,
bamboo.
like an
Okay.
entire tree fell into the damn drink. Eric, I called. No time to feel sorry for my. We weren't
Feels like I'm
through yet.
herding cattle.
No, Matt,
I
he
don't
said.
know.
He moved further up the river. Had he not heard it over the wind? No, no, look, I said. I jogged back to him, doing my best to ignore my splitting
We're
headache,
practically
the heavy
we're
weight in
herding
my back.
pandas.
You're right, man.
Oh
I
yeah, it's like being a
I
shepherd.
shouldn't have done that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know
We're the
why
panda
I did it
shepherds.
or why I didn't listen to you, but the river's current grew still, and something rumbled in the water. Stones rolled from the riverbank to the drink, and a dark shadow began to fill the surface of the channel. Eric took a step back, eyes wide in terror. I knew exactly what he was thinking, because it was all I could think of too. Something was in the water. Had Jake summoned it with the stones? Eric, I began, but he turned away from me.
Oh damn, these are
He
both
started
unhappy
clambering
ones.
up
We need
the bank of
happy
the river
pandas.
toward the woods. Eric, I shouted, scrambling after him. Can we talk?
Try to get happy
I don't
pandas
really
out.
feel like talking right now,
I'll try.
he said bitterly, talking into the tree line. Let's just get away from that damn water. I reached the top of the bank and then ran to catch up with him. I just need to talk about what happened
I don't
earlier.
want to get to a point where
Please.
we're
I
forced to
don't
kill
want to
off
talk about
pandas.
earlier, Eric
Right?
said. He squinted up at the rainy sky through the forest canopy.
I'll do it.
The storm's getting worse, and we're not exactly dressed for the weather, he said. He tugged pointedly at his hoodie, wiping a wet mop of curly hair from his forehead. We need to find some shelter. We're not making it down the. That much was true. It was an hour drive just getting up the mountain, and that was without whatever creatures the
We should
darkness
do
had
sleep
posted
so the
out.
phantom doesn't kill
We
us.
can try
Oh,
that,
yeah.
I said, not feeling much like I deserved to be making suggestions anymore. The beast knows about the cabin,
The beast from
Eric
the
argued.
east, Bam Bam
Let's assume that the
motherfucking
cabin's
Bigelow.
even still
What
standing.
the?
He shivered, bringing his hood up and over his head. But there's the cave. The cave, I thought. We'd meant to explore it later
Where's
this
my
year,
cookie at?
but
Oh yeah, I
Dad
got my
stopped us.
strawberry cheesecake
He said it
cookie.
was too
I
far
gotta finish off.
and that there were cougars in the woods. bears. Right, I said. Do you remember?
Are they
Yeah,
panda
I
bears?
remember, Eric said, stepping off. Uncle Jake was the one who told us about it when we were younger. It's why I suggested it. If she didn't want us going near it, and he did, then there's a good chance that's exactly where we need to be going. He said the words with a finality that told me the conversation was over. We walked for 20 minutes in silence. My conscience aided me. The weather beat at me, and my body ached all over. But it was the small voice in the back of my head that haunted me more than anything. Familiar but distant, like a faint echo. My mother weeping. Matthew, she said, please. There it is, Eric said, stopping suddenly. I stumbled, nearly colliding with him. I'd been so lost in my own thoughts that the world sort of melted away. He pointed up a small hill where a pitch black cave mouth yawned from the earth. It had a large entrance, big enough for an entire trailer to fit through, if not two. Eric reached into his pocket and pulled out his phone, turning the flashlight on. He scanned it into the mouth of the cave, and it looked as if the thing went on for some distance. Then the lights blinking before vanishing completely. Oh shit, he said. Battery's dead. Too many texts to Dad. Mind using yours? Of course, man, I replied, fumbling into my pocket for my own, feeling thankful I could be useful again, feeling thankful I could do something, anything, to make our relationship feel a little normal again. Here, I said, flicking mine on. We stepped into the cave carefully, our sneakers not ideal for walking on slick, wet cavern floors. Our progress came steady, but that was fine by me. I didn't know what we were likely to find in the cave, but I had my suspicions it wouldn't be unguarded. I'd rather see the trap before it was sprung. Do you smell that? Eric said, bringing his finger to his nose. It reeked like the worst smell I'd ever experienced. And
Strawberry
it was getting
cheesecake
worse the
cookie
deeper
and
we
that
went.
TNT.
Yeah,
Good
smells like
pairing.
something died in here. Well, that'd be
Very
nice,
nice pairing.
Eric said. But somehow I think it's going to be much worse than that. I nodded. Probably, I said. More steps in silence, just us and the light of my phone dancing against slick cavern walls. Did you finish the book? I asked. Most of it, yeah. Most of it. I skimmed some pages. It looks like Grandma had stuffed her notes into an actual paperback novel, maybe to hide it from. But she wrote the novel too, I said, remembering her name on the cover. Seems a lot of trouble to go to, doesn't it? Maybe, Eric said. He stopped suddenly. Wait a second, Matt. You just made me think of something. Yeah? Actually, he
Okay,
pulled
these
the
ones
book
move
from his knee
fast. That's
and turned
good.
the first couple pages. Bring the light over here for a sec. I came closer, holding my phone aloft so that we could see the book clearly. He slid his finger down the page before jabbing at it with a victorious, aha! What is it? Have a look, he said, handing me the book. I squinted at the faded lettering, dedicated to my three little monsters, Jacob, Alice, and Nolan. It's a dedication page, I said, to Uncle Jake, Mom, and Nolan. Eric shook his head, his face a mask of disbelief. I just assumed anything to do with the novel portion I could comfortably ignore. Why bother, right? We wanted to know about the research, what was really going on. But this, who's Nolan? I blinked, trying to pull up any memory of the person. Had Mom talked about him before she passed? Had Dad? I have no idea, I said, feeling useless all over again. This is something, though. he said, his previous coolness replaced by a sense of academic excitement. If there was one thing that improved Eric's mood, it was solving a problem, or at least getting partway there. She called them her three little monsters, which means
Three little
it
monsters.
means Grandma had another son. I finished. He grinned. Exactly. And we've got another uncle. Something moved in the distance, like a footstep echoing through the cave. It, Eric said.
Shit.
The light, what? I was already fumbling with it, my fingers swiping the screen in an anxious flurry. Eventually, I managed to shut it down.
Why does Grandma have to be a
Darkness
monster
engulfed us.
for?
Eric, right beside me,
My grandma having
disappeared
to be a
entirely
monster.
from my view. I reached out, grabbing his arm, and he jumped back. It's me, I whispered. I don't want us losing each other. Right. Okay, sure. The footsteps echoed closer now, like they sounded distinct from our own, padded almost, like an animal, like paws. My palms grew slick with sweat. Was it the beast? Had it found us? A growl reverberated through the cavern, low and guttural, monstrous.
Oh, good. They're
I
both formed.
squeezed
They're both in
Eric's
line.
arm
Good. Good.
tighter on
Good.
instinct.
Okay.
I wasn't going to lose him. I couldn't. Then a voice. It's dark. The man was in the cave. His footsteps neared, each one coming at a slower
That's what
pace.
she said.
But then he didn't need to rush. We were trapped, caught in a massive
Man in the
cavern
cave.
we knew nothing about, with our only exit blocked by the man himself. He knows we're here, Eric said. I wanted to tell him to shut up, that there was a chance he didn't, but I knew he was right. In the man's current state, he could almost certainly smell us. My mind shot through 100 different escapes, but each one ended up with us being captured or killed, possibly eaten. Eric shifted beside me. What now? Do the only thing you can do, I said quietly, feeling not entirely sure of myself. Take control. Control? Yes. I took a deep breath, hating myself for what I was about to do. But we were out of options. Running blindly into the cave wasn't on the table, and neither was running blindly into the man. That left one thing. Took you long enough,
Oh no, here
I
we go
said
again.
into the
Okay.
dark.
No, 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 no,
The
guys.
man's
No
footsteps
frolicking on the
stopped.
bamboo.
Matt, Eric hissed. Nolan, right? I continued, ignoring my brother. You were our grandmother's other son, which means you're our uncle. Silence. Seriously, Eric said, trying to put his hand over my mouth. I pushed him away. We know what she did to you, what she turned you into. A growl echoed through the cave, low and ragged. Then the footsteps resumed. They were faster now. I sucked in an anxious breath, second guessing my plan, but I was all in on this now, and there was no going back. We can help you, I shouted. The footsteps thundered like a beast on all
So we'll leave
fours,
the other one in the
and
bamboo
close.
trees.
I stumbled backward, my body acting on instinct, my muscles twitching to flee, but I couldn't. There was nowhere to run. I crashed to the floor with the wind
What
now
are you looking at?
threatened. The man's
No, no,
heavy
no, no.
paw
You keep
pressed on my
going.
chest,
No,
his
keep
breath
going.
smelling
Nuh-uh.
rancid and rotten, his
Wait,
eyes
is
a
there loose?
horrible,
Let me see.
glowing yellow.
Okay.
I struggled at him, and his claws dug into my flesh. Eric cried out beside me, bashing at the man, before he too hit the ground with a dull thud. Eric, I wheezed. I kicked and bit at the man. Eric, I said again. His paw moved from my chest to my mouth. where it clasped itself
Oh my
almost
god, you stupid
entirely
panda.
about my head.
Stupid,
I
stupid,
changed
stupid
muscled
panda.
cries into it.
Your
This
mama.
beating of him. This was it, I thought. I'd killed both of us. My chest heaved, emotions rioting within me. Tears fell from my face.
Aw. Come here,
Adrenaline
you.
raced
Let's
through
go.
my veins, and regret filled my thoughts. I should have listened to Eric. I was a fool. The man had only advanced once I made it clear we were there. If I hadn't, a roar sounded from
Look, Panda, I know you're being all
one
cute and all, but let's
fever
go. There we go.
or
Come on.
arrow in my chest.
Good, good Panda.
It
Oh,
filled
wrong
the
way.
cave,
God, turn
its
around.
echoes ear splitting, and its tone like gravel. I fell still, my resistance fading, as I realized what the man was doing. Dark, the man growled. It's dark. The
Oh, oh,
same
oh, oh.
warning
Nope,
he'd
nope.
given us the first time the beast had shown up. He'd meant to warn us that. I nodded beneath his grip, and he removed his gnarled paw from me. I sat up slowly, my eyes still useless in the pitch of the cave. Eric, I said quietly, I'm here, Matt. I heard the man rise to his feet. Then he grabbed me by the back of my leather jacket and heaved me up with him. Eric grabbed my shoulder, steadying himself as the man easily plucked him up next. The beast is back, Eric whispered beside me. Looks that way, I said. The man grunted expectantly. It's dark. Right, I said, getting his meaning. I flipped my phone's light on and cast it ahead. The man had already begun walking deeper into the cave, though this time more slowly. He intended for us to follow. Eric and I exchanged a brief look of unease before nodding and shuffling, heart racing, as I prayed we'd made the right decision. This feels too convenient, Eric whispered. Don't forget the
I need more
last time
tea.
the man showed up. We nearly died. Yeah, but we don't have much of a choice, do we? I said, cradling my broken wrist. If it's between the beast and the man,
Oh,
we should take
shit!
the man every time.
What?
If
I
the
fell
man
off the
felt
bridge.
normal, then he might be trying to help us.
Did you die or hit
And
water?
maybe that was
I died.
all along. Like
Any idea
maybe
where
he
you are?
knew about Jake. We walked slowly for a while
Mmm.
before we came to a halt in front of a rusty door which separated our half
Oh,
of the
pretty
cavern from
close.
the
Yeah,
one
you
ahead.
got him.
The man sniffed at the bars animated before heaving the heavy to a symphony of metallic
What do I think you...
screeching. God, I said,
Shit.
plucking my ears. When's the last time that hinge got? Might have been a while, Eric reasoned. Grandma didn't seem to care much for her hobby and her lady. If if Uncle Jake's were anything to go by, Uncle Jake, I thought. We were both quiet for a moment, guilt swimming in my stomach, and only stirred when the man beckoned us forward with a great gnarled paw. We made our way to him. As we neared, the light of my phone began playing across man-made against the stark black stone of the
It's
cave.
getting pretty cold.
Tables
Wait
were
a minute.
scattered about,
Let me try.
heaped with books and various surgical tools, while chairs sat tucked neatly beneath them. On the smooth wall ahead was a great sprawling diagram written in white. I recognized it as the same diagram from Mysteries. Do you think this is it? Eric said breathlessly. Where she made them? It seemed that way. Grandma hadn't wanted
So
us
about
exploring this cave, and after
43:23.
passing that steel gate, she clearly didn't want anything human or otherwise. I picked up a beaker of fluid, gazing at it like I knew anything about chemistry. This definitely fits the mold of evil lab, I said. Where did she get the time to do all this? Eric said. There was the snap of a and then a flame quietly to life. I turned to see Eric lighting a large. I'm sorry, I startled you. I just figured we ought to save your phone. No, no, it's okay. That's a good idea, I said. I stuffed my phone back into my pocket while the two of us made our lighting the other candles. I've been thinking, Eric said, leaving out his match as we lit the last of the wicks, about what we might find down here. I could still hear our mother weeping. My thoughts, I could still feel, no matter how far I pushed it down, the thrill I at bashing in Jake's skull. I swallowed. Yeah, me too, I said. We split up and looked over the contents of the tables. A lot of it was books, written in a language I couldn't make heads or tails of, bound in leather, with fancy steel clasps on the front. They looked 1,000 years old. Then, beneath a stack of scattered paper, I found a page with my name on it. I snatched it up, looking at Eric to make sure he hadn't noticed. My brother stood near the far wall of the room, his head in a book, occasionally glancing at the ground and adjusting his glasses. Good. I was in the clear. This is what I read. Matthew is responding well. His mannerisms appear mostly unaffected. He is still kind, rambunctious, and curious, certainly far less aggressive than Jacob. I was also quite happy to see his physical state has remained consistent, and I sense I may have sorted out the issue that affected Nolan. There are still certain uncertainties I have about, but it's possible. After all, I'll continue monitoring this. But Alice is growing concerned, and the boys have grown. I found Eric wandering toward the cave yesterday. I may soon have to send him home. I'll remind Jake to keep a better eye on them in the future and to stop filling their heads with adventure. There'll be plenty of time for this mountain when everything is done. Eric, I said, the reality of the situation crashing upon me. What if we find out we're monsters too? Eric finished.
That'd be
I
awesome.
didn't say anything. The truth was, I didn't think there was much we in it. Grandma had given me something, and now it was clear it was the same serum given Jake and Nolan. I looked at the man, at Nolan, and sighed. What had she done to us? Why? I, I don't know, I said, hating myself for being too weak to admit what I was. What if I turned now and hurt Eric? My stomach twisted. You know what? Why don't you stay here? I'm gonna go get some fresh air. I said. I slunk towards the rusty door. Eric put his hand on my shoulder. I get it, Matt. I do. Jake wasn't Jake
Oh, I
anymore.
got the slow moving
Jake was
ones.
supposed
Great.
to in order
Great.
to protect us. He shook his head. I I was wrong to make you feel you were one of them. I paused, unsure what sparked this change of heart. Eric's expression wasn't angry or hateful anymore. Rather, it was calm and a bit regretful. He let his hand fall away. So, don't feel like you need to run off, all right? I nodded. It was a nice sentiment, and I was glad that Eric trusted me again. But he was wrong, too. The page had confirmed it. I was a monster, and I'd already felt myself losing control to Grandma's medicine. What if next time, instead of Jake, Eric was the focus of my anger? I stuffed my hands into my pockets. I wasn't going to let that happen. Don't worry, I lied. I'm not running off, just getting some fresh air. I've got my phone's light. I'll find my way back, I said. I heaved the steel gate open to the sharp notes of, and Nolan stepped in front of me. His massive jaws dripped saliva, his glowing yellow eyes boring into me. I squirmed beneath his gaze. Dark, he said, pointing to the back of the room. I blinked. Was he trying to show me something? Swallowing, I picked up a candle and followed him
He's like,
toward
no
the
one ever
shadowy
taught me
corner.
English.
The spell was working while I read the page.
Except
As
for
I
that
drew
sentence
near,
explaining
I
that.
realized something about these
And this
words
one
emphasized
explaining that. And that.
slow,
And that.
and I made a
And that.
large circle
And that.
and looked as if
And that.
the
And that.
walls
And
were
that.
made of
that
stone
and that and
or
that.
hammer and chisel
God,
style.
why do the
What's
smiley
that
ones
for?
move so
Mother,
slow? You're supposed to
recalling
be
the runes of the
happy.
circle.
Happy move
Why,
fast.
they're symbols, Eric said. Pagan by the looks of them. His eyes were downcast. I I think it may be a sort of
Symbols
summoning
aren't pagan.
circle. Summoning circle, I said. To summon what?
Symbols could be
Eric
anything.
fidgeted with his
It could
hands.
be
Symbols for
any.
He
rituals
cut his
tend to
teeth.
be
Then the words escaped
unique
him and
to the
fell silent.
caster, actually.
Uh-huh.
I, Matt. His words came between whimpers. Another anxiety attack. No sense badgering him right now. No one had led me here. Perhaps he had more information. Nolan, right? I said, what's going on? Can you tell me anything? Help me understand? Silence. Of course he couldn't explain. His only vocabulary consisted of announcing time of day. Still, I'd have appreciated it. Could have pointed out a book or scroll or something. Then it hit me. Eric might be too worked up to get any words out, but I knew where he was summoning circle. I extended my hand to my brother. Hand me the book then. I'll find out myself. Eric stepped backward, clutching the book against his cheek. I can't, Matt. You, you don't
He's
get
like,
it.
I don't know how to read.
What don't I
Hmm.
get, Eric? Stop messing
He's
around,
like, I don't
man.
know how to read. Like,
Well,
seriously.
I
then
don't know
what
how
do
I'm
to.
you
trying to
do?
tell you this.
I don't know how to read.
Was that closer? Shit, I thought. The
It's
bastard
like, you
probably
really
knows
seem
his
to think I'm
trick
fucking
chain
with you,
again,
but
kid.
no, no, I'm not.
I'm not.
Huh.
Eric shrieked at me, his eyes wet with tears. There's stuff in there that you wouldn't understand. Couldn't understand. What the hell was going on? I thought. I winced, bringing a hand to my mouth.
It be raining, it be raining.
You know what this circle is. I already told you. He sobbed. It's a summoning circle.
Sweet.
Yeah, I need more details than
Somebody
that,
call
Eric.
Milton.
What the hell
Let
is
me
a
go.
summoning? I heard those words and please, Matthew, please, you have to. I shook myself free of my mother's voice, gritting my teeth and grounding myself in the moment. Focus on the pain, focus on the sound of water dripping against stone, focus on the cool breeze. Breathe. If I give you the book, you'll do it, Eric said, backing away from me and shaking his head. You'll do it. Do what? I shouted. Sound, touch, scent, ground myself. God, this was hard. It's nearly dark. Nolan growled.
It's nearly time for
Another
another
war.
joint.
This one
Another
Yes,
still
it
giant
is.
pre-roll.
Another giant. I got a giant pre-roll.
sharp,
Call this a
jagged,
Moon Rocks
And
monstrous.
if
pre-roll.
monsters
The
come
beast
around, I have the on
was
hollow
powerful.
point.
If I give you this book, Eric said, pointing at me with an expression, glasses crooked on his nose. Do to me what you
I
did to
swear I'm
the.
gonna pull my fucking hair
I
out with how
steadied
slow
my
these
hand.
goddamn
I
fucking
elbowed
pandas
toward
move.
me, taking another breath, centering myself. Memories bombarded me, while my mother's voice screamed in my head over and over. Please, Matthew, please. know, Mom. Why would I? I said, screwing up my face at sensory overload. Tell me, Eric. Tell me why you do that. I. Eric said, trailing off. It's dark. Nolan repeated, this time harsher, more fiercely. It's dark. I became a
It's dark. Okay.
Heading off toward the way we'd come. Where was he going? Another roar. Guttural.
Roar. He guttural roar.
Too close. Something was running through the cave. Something massive. Please, Matthew.
That's what she said.
Please. Eric, I screamed. Tell me.
Tell me, Matthew. Oh, yes, Matthew. Like, what?
I shook my head. No, no. I was the monster. Eric couldn't be. There was no way. It didn't add up. He was too kind, too selfless. He was my little brother. Please, Matthew. My mother's voice in my head. My wrist was still in agony, and my head still swam with old, unbidden memories. Grandma's needle medicine, her calm voice telling me to recite the words. Wait, what words? Why? Focus, damn it. You're not the monster, I told Eric through gritted teeth. I am. I shoved my hand into my pocket and thrust the page to his chest. He took it while I did my grounding exercises, focusing on my breath, my sense of feeling. I needed to return to this moment. I needed to break free of voice, of old memories scraping at the edges of my mind. We weren't safe. We needed to act. Eric tore the piece of paper in half, throwing it to the ground. What are you doing? I said, feeling myself recenter. You didn't even read it. I don't need to, he said, shaking his head. I believe you.
Alright, this calls for a fucking joint. These pandas are gonna drive me inside.
Complete trust, but the situation seemed a little extreme after smell the roses. The snow
And as far as the obsidian house with
the
them.
entire cavern shook. It
I
sounded
got
like
the
something
slow
heavy
ones,
smashed against
so
the walls.
yeah.
Me too.
Oh my god. Pound me too. Shit, where's my lighter? There's my lighter. Starter problems. You like don't have your lighter like right there and within eye view.
I said, looking around in desperation. Now we need something to help us fight that thing. I think Nolan's gonna need all the help he can get. But the lab was just that. A lab. And a crude one at that. It looked like a cross between a cult conference room, with its various tapes and strange pagan symbolism on every book, and a research facility with its. I didn't see a single weapon or even anything close to it. I tore across the room, flinging open cabinets, scanning shadowy corners, and upending desk drawers. Nothing. How the hell? I said, grasping the edge of the table. Live in the woods, monsters, and not even keep a shotgun to defend yourself. Eric was at a loss for words. He kept looking from me to the swinging metal
Jesus
gates,
Christ, the tip of this Moon Rocks pre-roll is like
I knew Eric wasn't the action type.
covered in
He'd
resin.
done his job well enough anyway. Now it was time for me to do mine. A monstrous rang out from the cavern, and then floated through the metal gate. His massive wolf body skidded to a halt in the center of the room, coming to a stop against a sturdy table leg. He wasn't moving. The gate screeched in its death throes, swinging from a single hinge. We were out of time. Eric, I said, get under the table now. He shook his head, grabbing a scalpel from one of the drawers. No way. You're not facing this thing alone. You gotta be kidding me.
Oh, I need tea now. Oh my god, I'm low on tea. Shit, that joint had my mouth watering. What the fuck? Oh. Sometimes I think about that. Cigarette.
And then I realized what a fool I was. The candle, I said, rushing to the nearest one. We dashed about, extinguishing the candles in quick succession. When we were finished, we both tucked ourselves beneath the table, waiting silently for the beast to reappear. Its footsteps looked like a small earthquake. Deep and old, the creature was waiting under its rocky coat. And then I heard the sound of followed by what sounded like both being torn from the table. The table beside us rose with a scream, followed by a deafening clang as the steel gate crashed against the back wall. I clapped my hand to Eric's mouth, making sure he didn't utter a word. The truth was, I didn't remember a thing about the beast, only that it had come for us the night we 12 years ago. I didn't know what it looked like, what its capabilities were. I just prayed it couldn't smell us. Another set of footfalls rumbled. Low, powerful, heavy. Sweat beaded from my forehead, and I swallowed, doing my best not to move or so much as twitch. Being so deep underground, there was no adjusting our eyes to this darkness. I couldn't see a damn thing, only hear its massive, puffing breaths, its low growls. I could hear it in a room now, stalking among the tables, searching. Our only option was to wait. Maybe we could slip by while it looked for us, make for the exit. Each footfall caused our table to rattle, and all those around us. Not far from us, a beaker crashed to the floor. Then, my entire body froze. Still so frightened, boys? The beast said, its voice raspy, unnatural. I'd have thought you'd feel confident after your last performance. The table next to us, where the beaker had fallen, exploded, its wood fragments raining down atop our own with sharp thuds. I slammed my eyes shut, waiting for death, but it never came. Instead, the creature's great footsteps moved toward the other end of the lab, still speaking. Why could it speak, but not Nolan? A question better suited for Eric, but now wasn't the time. I have to say, Maddie, the beast said, making my heart skip a beat. I'm impressed. I never thought you had it in ya. Its voice gleamed with malice. I felt Eric shift beside me, and I knew he was as confused as I was. Had the beast seen murder Jake? It didn't matter. We weren't having a conversation. We needed to get out of here. Now that the monster was on the other side of the room, I nudged Eric.
You see me murder that guy, doesn't matter what I'm having.
When you brought the rock down on my, I'm surprised. It said. I froze, my body halfway out from beneath the table. Had he just said, but then you brought it down again and again? Bash my brains to mush. The beast chuckled. I actually thought you might kill me. This wasn't possible. It couldn't be Uncle Jake. The voice of the beast was deep. It was gravelly. It had no accent, and it didn't sound anything like me.
A beast with
Jake
no
was dead.
accent.
My
Okay.
damn eyeballs weren't even in their
Were you
sockets by
expecting
the
him to
time.
have some sort of French
I
accent
don't
or
know what he
something?
said. As
Yeah.
long as
Like,
Well, could
oh,
have you see French
I'm
accent?
going to rip off your skull,
the
uh-huh.
darkness next
I'm going to
morning,
rip
I
off your
faintly
skull and
heard
use it
Eric
for
doing
a
something,
It's
ashtray.
an stray.
followed by the sound of
I shall pop
tinkling
in
on the
unannounced.
cabin floor.
Take your skull
He
and
was
use it as an
drumming on the
ashtray.
end table. And you, Jake, Jake said, causing Eric to pause next to me. I'm surprised you let Matthews control that
True that.
lab.
Yeah, not wrong. I'm just like, I mean, have you seen The Exorcist?
I tugged at Eric's arm, indicating that we needed to move. We needed to get the hell out of here. Storm or not, I trusted my chances in the ring to help. Eric resisted at first, his vain curiosity getting the better of him, but after a moment he relented. We both snuck along the opposite wall of the keys toward the exit. I was hoping I wouldn't have to kill you until after you turned, Jake continued, destroying another table with a grunt. But the truth is, you're needed for summoning. Always have been. Keep moving, damn it, Papa. I gently pushed Eric along. But I think I can make do with a stray hiker. Maybe an old friend from town. Hell, maybe your dear father. He's likely to put up a fight, but turning him would be so satisfying. Lord knows the jackass deserves it. A little further up, I could feel the wall curving towards the exit passage, where the detached gate would be waiting for us. Nearly there, something smashed against the wall beside us. A chair? Footsteps thundered, then silence. I fell on my ass as something jumped in front of us, as he jumped in front of us. Jake let out a howling shriek of a laugh. Oh, boys. You actually thought I didn't know exactly where you were this whole time. His voice turned guttural, menacing. How do you think I found my way through the damn cave? A hand 5 times larger than Nolan's picked me up, and I felt rough fur scratching at my body. I always figured you were a lost cause, but after that last display, murdering your own uncle, I'm surprised you're not welcoming this opportunity to become greater. I kicked and punched at the beast's hand, so large it nearly fit around my torso. Go to hell, I shouted, as if I'd ever want to turn into a monster. Another ear-splitting, horrible laugh. Was this really my uncle? Eric, Jake said, and I became aware of the fact that he probably had him in his opposite grip. I didn't think it would take any convincing you at all. Or are you still pretending you didn't murder your sister? No, no way, I thought. Don't listen to him, Eric, I said, my body flailing uselessly against Jake's strength. He's trying to convince you to turn into whatever the hell he is. Our mom died in a riverboat accident. I knew that. We both did. Got it, Jake said, a spit flicking across my face, and his voice so loud that my head rolled back in a daze. His giant hand, and I felt my breath trapped in my chest. Don't hurt him, Eric said. His life, Jake said, in that horrible, uneven, and gravelly voice, depends on what you. Eric, I wheezed, and Jake squeezed tighter yet, extinguishing my next words. I sucked at the air, but my chest was too constricted. I was suffocating.
It's
I
just
can't
crazy
choose
that there's
that,
actually
Eric
rain
said.
in
I
Minecraft.
never want to feel it again.
Lots of it.
It's
Yeah, and I like how the
underground,
sky looks gloomy.
Jake said.
Yeah.
You must say the words. Please, Eric said. I sputtered, rasping, as my adrenaline-soaked body ran through the last of the oxygen in my blood. My vision blurred. In a primordial panic of death. Time, Eric said, his voice more desperate than I'd ever heard. Just stop it. Just leave him be. Jake's grip fell away, and I dropped to the hard floor in agony, heaving for air. Good, Jake said, disregarding me. Now let's go get you some medicine, Eric. It'll help the process along. Jake's footsteps thundered away from me, the cave still cloaked in absolute darkness. I choked and wheezed on the ground, reorienting myself. Moment. Eric, I said, though my voice was hardly there. Eric. I stumbled forward, following the mighty footfalls, following my terrified brother. Don't touch my brother, I said. Now here's what you're gonna do, Jake said. You're gonna put this needle in his arm, and then you're gonna speak his name. You're gonna welcome him home. What? Eric stuttered. I heard him struggle, but I knew Jake wouldn't let him go. His name, Jake growled. Surely you remember by now. Or are your memories still as gone as Maddie's? Hairs scraped on stone, followed by what sounded like Eric being seated in one. Speak his name when I inject Friday. Friday, Eric, I said, slipping on the slick stone. I crashed to the floor and pain shot through my kneecaps. No time. Ignore. I pushed myself back to my feet, head still spinning. Eric, you're next, nephew, Jake said. Wait your turn. I inched closer to Jake,
Wait your
my brain
turn.
and senses returning to me.
Wait your turn to
He just wanted to bring
die.
pride home.
Don't worry,
Before Jake,
you'll be
Eric, and I.
next.
Don't you dare take that needle, I said. Don't. Enough from you. Jake's weight shifted, making the entire cavern rumble, and I felt him moving. And then a shot rang, and another. Gunshots. Light filled the cavern for two terrifying moments as I watched the beast mangle just inches from my own, drop wordlessly to the ground. I stepped backward. I wasn't sure I'd get here in time, said a voice. Did I know that voice? A beam of light erupted from the eye, illuminating the shattered tables, my horrified brother, and the beast. Jake's face had stayed as mangled as I'd made it, with his bones jutting out at grotesque angles. His eye sockets sat just two flesh-tinged voids, while his long fangs were scattered, sharp and jagged things. I almost vomited. He looked like some kind of monstrous approximation of a Sasquatch. Who's there?
Did
Eric
you hear
finally
that,
said.
Jesse? A
What's the matter
Sasquatch.
with you?
Mm-hmm.
Can't you read me on that damn voice? I looked swung around, retreating from the room and the figure in the entrance. I blinked. Dad? Long time, Matt, Dad said, holstering his shotgun on his lap. He stepped into the room, looking like something out of a time machine. He looked every bit like the asshole on, right down to his knee-cropped hair, thick leather jacket, 5 o'clock shadow. And wait, was that night vision goggles on his head? Eric, you all right over there? He said, making his way over to him. Eric nodded, still pulling himself out of his panic attack. He gazed at Dad in disbelief, and I couldn't blame him. Eric hadn't seen him in 2, and I hadn't seen the guy in twice that. Didn't prick yourself on that needle, did you? Dad said, giving Eric a once-over. He took the syringe from Eric's hand, held it up to the light to make sure it was still full, then pocketed it in his jacket. Good. What are you doing here? I said quietly. He glanced back at me. Well, I was invited, wasn't I? I think he means, Eric began. Dad cut him off. I know what he means. Raise your arms. All right, good. Nothing broken there. Eric shook his head. The poor kid was an hour younger than me, but our father treated him like he was half my age. All right. How are your legs? Dad, Dad, I'm fine, Eric said, standing up. He looked shaken beyond belief, his body still trembling with anxiety. I think Matt wants to know why you're here, and so do I. There was no escaping the question now. Dad sighed, a thick mitt of a hand pulling his night vision goggles from the top of his head, dropped them on the table with a clatter, and pulled out a chair with a screech, sitting down in it, and looking up at the dark stalactites on the cave ceiling. I got your text, Eric, he said after several moments of silence. I sent you one back, but you never got it, clearly. And no shit, I said.
Yeah.
When did you send it, out of curiosity? Because we started our drive at 9 in the morning. Dad gave me a scared look, his brown eyes colder than any blue. I sent it in the afternoon when I woke up. Ah, there it is. You were drinking, huh? I said, oh, give me a break, man. Don't lecture me on drinking. Eric shot me a shrug, and I got the picture. I really wasn't a bastion of moral superiority when it came to booze. Even still, I had more questions. So what? You came as soon as you saw the text? Dad put his head in his hand, as if speaking to me was the most painful thing he'd experienced all year. No shit, he said, patting his shotgun on his thigh. Listen, I showed up, didn't I? I saved your asses. About that, I said, folding my arms and walking around Jake's corpse. It was grotesque, with blood-streaked fur, massive feet and hands, and a set of jaws that made a tiger look like a bobcat. Looking at it, it was as if a bear had been mixed with a chimpanzee with a bit of asshole thrown in. How did you find it? I said.
Bit of. Oh my
Alright.
god.
Dad
Okay.
leaned back in the chair,
I
his
like
legs
that.
creaking as he slammed his fingers on the table. He ran a hand over his puffy face. Well, let's
I'm
just
like, how would
dive
you know
into
what?
what
Oh,
might
never
be your
mind.
grandmother's eclectic interest. And yeah, drove off, a trait he and Eric shared. They knew about this place, Eric said, doing his best to look Dad in the eye. And you never told us? I slumped over, not giving Dad a chance to answer. I needed to say my piece. Yeah, you just walked out and left us with a bunch of lunatics. Then you vanished. Poof, gone. Who cares though, right? Not like we would have appreciated so little as a warning. Oh, you wanted a warning, did you, Matthew? Dad started. I did everything I could to warn you.
Fuck!
Both
I did it
times.
again.
I
God
told you
damn
to come
it.
with me. I begged you to. But no, you wanted to stay with old mom. And honestly, Matthew, and this is on you, after all the
Weirdly
tangents you
enough, it
flew,
was the
the
same
second
area
time
as
you crossed
before.
my way, I wasn't willing to fight it. Not
And I
anymore. You
spawned
even
at that
poisoned
place.
Eric against me.
Interesting.
I rounded on him,
4-3.
towering above his chair. It took every bit of willpower I had not to sock him in the jaw right then and
Where?
there. 15 years, and he still couldn't take responsibility.
Oh, not that.
That was irritating. Before reaching in 5 day home, Eric spoke quietly.
Where?
I recognized that tone.
Oh, where?
He was trying to change the before Dad and I. Well, Christ is the Lord. And spat a mouthful of your grand. Death was obsessed with him. Some kind of dead bullshit. He planted the cigarette and held the pack toward me. No thanks, I quit. Dad waved out his mask, taking a long breath before exhaling. Yeah. Good call. He pulled another bong.
Okay, thank God I didn't fall too far.
Yeah, not as expensive as you. I said,
As in, didn't fall too far from my spawn point.
where'd you come across those anyway? Didn't so much as glance. Sure. The hell you think I found? Oh, so now you're gonna start another fight, huh? I'm not starting. Taking another draft. Not in the same time shotgun. When I might need to use others too. Nodded towards Jake's. That's your uncle, I'm guessing. I nodded. Yeah. So you knew about that too. I had a feeling. Oh my God, Nolan. In the thing, I'd forgotten about it. Dad, give me a flashlight. I said, holding up my hand up and down, as though incredulous that I'd ever asked so lofty a borrowing his life. Say the name, no. Yeah, Eric replied. He helped us. Dad glanced around. Supposed to be dead. The light, asshole, I said, pulled it away. Hold on now. Dad rose from his chair. Oh, you. I looked at Eric. What again, you are, Dad? My opinion didn't mean it. Eric was the golden child. Dad, Eric said, stepping forward. Hand me the light. I'll show it to you. A moment passed. And here goes. Eric took the light and swung it around toward the center of the room, where we'd seen no crash against the table. Enough. His body was still there, unmoving. I ran to him, Eric following, the light bobbing up. Our dad took his still dragging on his feet. I fell next to Noel's eyes, racking my mind. That my first impulse from years ago. I leaned toward his jaws, his and listened for breathing. Not good. So, Dad said, coming up behind us and throwing a nudge with his boot. This is your brother your mother mentioned, huh? According to her, he died in a fishing. Clearly not the case, I said, frustrated. I opened Nolan's eyelids, and his yellow eyes locked low. They gazed light. I rolled him over to his back with
Now
all
there's
the strength I
two
had.
fox.
As
Now
my
there's three
hand
fox and a baby
touched
fox up
Nolan's
here.
with my own.
Oh!
You want to give me a hand? Well,
You wouldn't happen to
Dad,
have any sweet berries on you, would you?
he flicked his cigarette to the ground.
In the
Not
box down
doctor,
here.
asshole. I said. I hated I was getting this warped up.
'Cause
I
sweet
pumped
berries is
out his neck
what'll
and chest.
Make 'em breed.
black fur. I pressed and I pressed, doing everything I could, but my strength wasn't through his cavity as pulling me. Eric, give me a hand, I said. Eric knelt down, and Dad grabbed him by the shoulder and pulled him off. Over, said, your uncle's dead. Let him rest in peace. I fell on top of Nolan's chest, the cuts on my face stinging as the tears slipped into them. Only one that tried to help us, I said, sobbing. The only one tried warning us. Get up, Maddie. It
Dude,
ain't
you're
over
stuck on
yet,
a chest. Let's go.
Dad
Come on,
said
come on.
coldly. You don't get to speak, I said. You don't get to tell me when it's over. Everything was pouring out of me now. All the hatred, sadness, the regrets,
Great, that one's stuck on a
everything.
chest.
Like a tidal wave of emotion. You would have let them take us. He at least tried to help and died for it. Pull yourself together, Dad growled. If it wasn't for me, the two of you would be lying there doing. I looked at him, but he couldn't for once have a damn heart. He struggled a minute, but I got a foot behind his leg and tripped into the floor, crashed against the cold stone in my broken wrist. But I ignored it. I had one good one, and that was far more than enough. I raised it up. Eric grabbed it, holding it back and keeping me from bashing in my dad's face. Eric said, yeah, Mary, my dad said, switching me in the jaw. I rolled off him, dazed, and he clambered on top, delivering another short punch to my face. That's enough, he said. Eric dropped the light and tackled him, the two of them rolling off of him. I sat up, shaking the stars from my vision, and I heard something move. Not Dad. I glanced at no motionless. Stop it, I said. What? Dad said. Finally realized you tantrum this whole time? Oh, I spat. I thought I heard something. I reached for the light Eric was keeping it around the room. Everything looked as I remembered it, battered and broken. I brought the light to the entrance, making sure no new cryptids were sneaking behind. Nothing. All clear. And then a massive form crashed in front of us, grabbing me by the length of my hair. I cried out as it my muscles
I like how you just
tensed
come
against
over or
the
you look
bars,
around with the
and it
axe, and
stiffened,
then you just go.
my neck getting close to
Mm.
snapping.
I don't know why that cracked me up, but it did.
It said,
You're like, oh,
Probably 'cause
Panda.
I'm dressed like Winnie the Pooh.
I crashed
Which is
against
odd
the
because on my
wall,
screen you look complete.
back
You
up,
don't look like Winnie the
moving.
Pooh. It's
I
just
heard
so
thumping
fucking odd.
footsteps, a shotgun blast, another blast, and then screaming. So much. My vision dulled, my mind faded. No, I thought. I blinked, only darkness. Every movement felt like running a marathon. That I needed to move. I had to. I coughed, my neck craned up, the light sorted at me. In the distance, I heard shouting, crying, hollering. I heard breathing, heavy, brutal. I heard Jake speak. By the time this is over, Dr. I'm gonna be a husk next to all of you. But lucky for me, I'm built sturdier than a human. I tried to rise to my feet, only to stumble and fall painfully on my face. I groaned, rolling onto my back, while Jake continued. Like I said, Eric, I'm a product of progress. Now let's make you one too. Darkness filled my vision, and I drowned it. Lost in black shadow, my mind and thoughts drifted through a void
Mm.
with only pieces of voices of moments breaking through. Oh, sorry, Eric. Sorry. Regret and guilt swirled inside me. Good. That's the needle done. No, no. Dad had the needle. I saw him take it. Dad, I said. Now say, Jake said. Welcome to you. Welcome him beyond the veil. I felt myself falling away, losing consciousness. Eric was crying, sobbing. Friday home. Oh. I opened my eyes, hating myself. I'd nearly done it, lost control. I tried doing to Dad what I'd done to Jake, so there was nothing left. I sat up and shot through my neck. Still alive. How well? His face had been beaten to mush, and he'd been shot with 5 or 6 blows. I groaned, rising
Almost
up.
there, probably at at
Darkness
the halfway
surrounded.
point.
A single beam of light piercing and illuminating drifting dust. The cave, right? We cave.
I
It
bred
was a
some
mess.
smiled pandas.
I stumbled to Dad's
Cool.
flashlight and picked it up. The light was fainter now. The batteries must be nearly dead. How long had I been out? I brought a hand to my gosh, the impersonation of an owl. I called, my throat dry. I needed a drink. Dad?
I do need a
Night
drink.
beams swept across the
Thank you,
passage.
narrator.
Only scattered books, littered wooden tables. The place had been demolished. Only a handful of people remained in one, and even they had been pulled out and tossed. That's right, I remember. I'd done that trying to find a weapon to fight Jake. And all Eric meant, that was the best we had. Dad charged in our asses. So I screwed it on. I staggered forward,
Jeez,
searching
I
what
could take a
could
power nap at
I
the rate that
find.
I'm going, and the pandas wouldn't even make it to me if I
Something Dad like that.
went further
Tried to
out.
shake the skull
Stop a
completely.
little bit, take a
That's
power
right.
nap till they reach up, go
Jake
backwards,
had
do
probably
same
reached out and
thing.
fighting,
Mm-hmm.
trying to make his
Nothing
move.
wrong with that.
And then,
Right?
surprise,
Like, geez, they go slow enough, makes you want to fall asleep.
and then forced to welcome the Lord beyond the veil, whatever the hell that meant. It didn't mean anything good. I knew that much. I swept the light to the summoning rod, so the dull red, casting a crimson our bed. Eric, I said again. Dad, no. God, no. I fell back into a wooden chair, putting my head in my hands. Where were they? My mom's voice started up. Not now, Mom. I screamed as loud and as hard as I could. My throat felt like sandpaper, but I didn't care. I screamed until I was out of breath, until the voices in and then cried a while. If I could find them, how the hell was I? I picked up the scalpel Eric left on. How was I supposed to think? Jake took shotgun blast. All I had was a scalpel, a busted wrist, something inside of me trying to get out. It's dark. I looked up, not sure I heard properly. Was that? brought the light around, scrambling from my chair, my sneakers slipping on the cavern floor. I shouted, falling to my knees beside him, breathing heavy, and no longer the bipedal weird. He was human now, or at least as close as he could get with a wolf mask fused to it. Are you? Then pointed to the scalpel still in my hands. Dark, dark, I replied, with more frustration than I'd meant. I felt so much fear on the numb, like I was desperate for violence. I swallowed the rage. Breathe, just breathe, I thought. The scalpel, right? I said. He nodded slowly, as if the act was wrong. What do you want with him? I said, completely at a loss. I wished he would just say some real words for once. Dark. Brought a finger along his neck, tracing the stitching of the mask. Want me to cut it off for you? The mask? Another slow, pained nod.
Oh my god, I gotta get
That
the.
made more sense than anything.
Hey, I might have enough time to change controllers by the time these pandas make it to my way.
I could feel the rage boiling inside me, thrashing to get out. I thrust the scalpel toward him. I, I don't trust myself right now. Do it. I'll help you if you took his head.
Yasmin, what are you doing?
He
Stop
didn't
picking at
understand.
that,
There was
please.
something inside of me.
Oi.
I saw
Ugh.
blood. He clawed closer and
Such an annoying little cat, I
closer.
swear.
It happened with Jake. It nearly happened with my own father. I couldn't risk losing control on Nolan, not when he was all I had left. I grabbed his hand, took the
What the fuck? No! You stupid This controller. Fucking Christ. Okay, I need to change this one out. Apparently. God damn.
What had I done? Cradled his hand, and I saw scorch marks on his
Did
palm.
you have anything in your inventory that you needed?
No, not really. Just that's just some bamboo.
Yeah, fuck it.
Yeah.
Damn, there was a chicken in this bamboo.
The puzzle pieces forming in my mind, but you
There's a
couldn't
chicken, eh?
hear nothing. Thinking of monster lore,
Man, it's a good thing I
is the scalpel still
reset
there?
my spawn point, because
Dark.
I didn't fall too far from
I
where I
hopeful, I
spawned.
said, doing my best to steady his head with my broken wrist. I used my gaze to make an incision on the mask's stitching. His body
Aw,
still
shit. I'm gonna have to get some more
as the
bamboo.
blade
Oh well.
sliced through the thread, and in something,
That's
his
not
flesh.
not a problem.
I said, a thin trail of blood wound its way from his neck down to his chest, and I did my best to ignore it. Thankfully, the rancid smell of his wolf pack made a good mental anchor and helped me stay in the moment, avoid the pull of whatever inside of me. Please, Matthew, the voice in my head again. There, I said, cutting the last pieces of the tree. I pocketed the scalpel. Skin was seared around the incision point, and his whole body trembled in pain. Sorry, I'm sorry. That should do it, Doc. Raised his hands to the mask and lifted it slowly. The glow from it faded, and the mask itself, the flesh dropping from the skull and rotting away. I helped raise it off, and he dropped it to the floor. But the lot like Jake, a mess of hair, had been torn away during his. But he still had those fading from hours after. It occurred to me that probably gave him a thank you quietly. Talk now? My heart raced. I had so many questions. He nodded, swallowing. He ran his hand around his neck, where the mask had been cut free. Only silver could undo those bonds. I tried cutting it before, but they healed too quickly. Yeah, I said, of course. I looked down, guilt bubbling in my chest. Thank you for everything. But he got Eric, my dad, too. I thought that he might. He's much stronger than I am. Do you know where he's taken him? I asked. A small ember of hope began burning inside of me. Oh, we must know. Been here all along. Because we need to get over there now. Coming Friday on. Nolan finished, rising on shaky legs. The mask prevented me. Not listening. Ran a hand over his breathing deeply. I'm afraid without the mask, I'll help you in fight. But that's not what you need right now. I can help with that. Hand me your light. I did, and he brought it to rest on a broken cabinet in the back corner. That'll be it. He handed the light back to me and limped toward it. I followed. Friday is powerful, he said. Perhaps too powerful to stop, but we may be able to save Eric. And my dad? Nolan didn't answer. Reaching the cabinet, he rested his body against it for a moment, taking several deep breaths. His face looked a great deal more worn than Greg's, with deep lines framing his eyes and a sallowness to his cheekbones. He looked like he was dying. Just a moment, he said, just catching my brother. He did quite a number on me. He's insane, I said quietly.
Okay.
Question faded. Decided I had to ask. Might be the only opportunity to do him. Nolan smiled. Question. Pulled a book from the shelf to its pages. Early in life, my mother was a writer. She loved the paranormal, demons, ghouls, and the like. And I was her biggest fan. But tossing the book and plucking another, tip of his thumb, and cycled a few pages. I love reading. Then he told me, excellent. This should be the proper text. He let his body slide down the cabinet, his finger running across a page. I held the light above it. I spent 10 years in uniform studying medicine, and when I returned, she was a different woman. Strange, like something had gotten to her. Gotten to her?
I was just
I
resetting
repeated.
my spawn point.
I sat down next to him. This was a side of my grandmother, a side of my family. Mom rarely spoke about anything that had become obsessed with Prydale at the time. I thought it was a bit of artistic madness, you know. Method acting, perhaps. Getting into character for enough stories. He laughed. He chuckled, accentuated by winks of pain. He asked for my help with the science cryptids. Uh, I thought she was crazy, but she showed me a library of books she'd collected. Paused, taking a raspy breath. They described incredible things, things that shouldn't be possible. I stared into the dark, my voice barely a whisper. Helped her make you, make Jim what he is. My curiosity, ethics, I confess. I agreed. Another wince of pain.
This other
I
controller's still giving me grief, but not as bad as the other one
experiment.
was.
but on the ground.
Yeah, my other one pulls to the left. It's really annoying up on the bridge.
Oh my god, that's exactly what mine's doing right now. And the other one does the same thing
Oh
too. I
yeah, it
had to
walks you
get.
right the fuck off if you're not paying
Yeah.
attention.
It's like I had to get a new controller because the other two controllers are doing the same thing.
I made myself into a werewolf, but an imperfect one who could never fully stop being a beast.
So not a good look for the PS5. Because I don't recall the PS4 controllers ever doing something like this.
I wanted to kill you. I felt compelled to. I swallowed, but I didn't. Continue. I'm not sure what changed, but after seeing you, it was like a piece of me, a small sliver of humanity. I decided to try and warn that day by the river of the dark of my mother's intent. The book, I said, Histories of the Cryptids. Yes, he said, flicking another page. I'd stuffed some of her novels she'd written. My hope was that if she saw you again, she wouldn't grow suspicious. Out to the center of the page. Here it is. The Light of Pridale. Give me a moment, please. I need to read this carefully. I did. In the time to reflect. 10 minutes ago, I nearly. But then Nolan had given me hope. He never was in that book. He seemed to had a real shot at helping this disaster. I believed him. There was hope for Eric. Hope for my dad. We could do this. Put things back to normal and get off this damn mountain and turn the whole experience a repressed memory. I
Yeah.
just needed to know. It's as I suspected, Nolan said a short time later. The summoning requires an amount of offerings.
Oh my god, that was so close.
To put it four of them and a host. That would be your brother or you. Stop me
Another one where I was just resetting my spawn point.
Is that good or bad? Well, Nolan said, leaning back and resting a book on
Stop
his lap.
doing that, you
Without
stupid
the
ass
medicine,
controller.
I've lost my ability to heal from my wounds. All this to say that I'm dying. And I should thank you that I'm dying as a man. I suspect that when I leave, clutched his side. You okay? I said, realizing what a stupid question it was. Jake had thrown him half the length of a football stadium. His insides were probably damn near mush. I'm still dying, he said with a wry grin. But all right otherwise. As I said, when I leave, offering will be short and Jake's summoning will be unsuccessful. Wait, I said, standing up, looking at the runes in the ground. I thought they'd already summoned him. Yes, they have. On his way. But crossing worlds is not so easy a task, at least according to Tone. He patted the book on his lap. I suspect that Jake's taken them to meet the Lord beyond rise. Isn't that here? I said, staring at the summoning circle. Isn't he arriving in that circle? The cabinet creaked as Nolan leaned back against it. His head rested on the cupboard door, and he closed his eyes. Think of that circle as a telephone. It's a way of communicating that their terms have been met. Everything I've read about Prydale would indicate him to be a prideful being, one who would loathe to enter this world. He took a difficult breath. I die. Jake's terms will be broken. Prydale won't grant him an audience. Great. No Prydale. But that still left one massive problem. Nolan, I said desperately, how do I stop Jake? How do I help our family? Silver. Nolan grimaced. Haven't you been paying attention? He gave me a grim smile. The trouble, of course, is getting the silver into my brother's heart. That's putting it lightly, I muttered. I doubted the scalpel was long enough to even reach his heart. Once my brother realizes, he said slowly, his words spaced by flinches of pain, that the summoning is being prevented by something, he's likely to realize I've passed on. I don't know what happens then. He is unpredictable at the best of times. He coughed more blood, and it speckled the book in his lap. What do I do? I said. There wasn't much time left, and there was so much I still didn't know. I can't kill Jake with a scalpel, I said. How do I stop this? His head rolled to the side, looking over the room, operating table. Beneath him, my father's dagger. Eric and I hadn't known much about our great grandfather, only that he'd been an archaeologist in life. I stood, casting a light in the direction Nolan looked. Sure enough, there was an operating table there. Though it felt generous to call it such, it was really more of a slab of wood with some leather straps dangling off of it. Is the dagger silver? Nolan nodded. Not much, but it'll have to do. Now go. Get a head start on me. There was one last thing I first, something important. When I was younger, I said, but I
Almost
haven't
there.
changed yet. If if she only gave it to you once, it wouldn't be enough. He took a moment to catch his breath. It takes several doses to induce the transformation. And I'm not a cryptid. I sighed, relieved. That was one terror I could put to rest, at least for now. Thank you, I said quietly. The truth was, I had so much to say and no time to say it. I
Oh,
wasn't
there's a fox over
I was
here.
sorry for thinking he was a monster, that I was sorry for attacking him with a fire iron, that
Oh,
he could
hi,
ever know,
friend.
that he could ever know
Oh, you're kind
that
of
I'd
derpy
passed on.
looking.
You're a good man, I said, rising to my feet. Please know that. I hoped it was enough. Terrible feeling leaping inside here, in darkness, where his nightmare came. But there wasn't any time. When this was finished, I'd come back and pull him out, give him a proper burial. But right now, there were still lives I could save, lives I wanted to save. I made for the exit. After you, Roland wheezed. I paused, turning my ear toward him. Don't listen. Voices. The forest was quiet tonight. No sound of footsteps,
What the fuck?
rustling of
Are
birds,
you...
and not so much as the chirp of crickets. I scurried through the woods,
I hate this
avoiding the
fucking
damn
controller.
trails and sticking to the brush. Bramble and nettle clawed at my jacket. Branches hung low and caught me in the face, and the dirt, wet from the storm, chipped with my every step. It didn't matter though. I knew where I needed to be. The cabin was where the sun. It was where Jake had ambushed us earlier, and perhaps it was where you. I was the one running the
Thank goodness I'm
granted the
almost there,
dagger.
though. Alright, come
Hanging
on
onto
there.
my belt,
Come on,
I got
pandas.
by with every stride. While it was a good deal long, it certainly wasn't ideal for fighting a 12-foot Sasquatch. Still, it was all I had. I doubted a silver broadsword would have made more terrified either way. On the glass half full side of things, stopped raining. The temperature felt a good deal warmer, although I suspected that had something to do with me sprinkling a little sand. Above, though, the storm clouds, heavy and gray, lifted enough to mask the moon entirely. The forest was shrouded in near darkness. Thankfully, Dad had saved my ass again. I brought a hand to my face and adjusted his night vision goggles, seeing the shape of greens and flax. Normally, I'd be concerned about the, but I knew Jake could
Almost did it again.
not after I
Fucking hate this
shot
stupid
him.
controller.
He did, however. I reared back my head, spat out a mouthful of mud. I'd rolled around in a puddle of it outside the cave, drenching myself head to toe in muck and grime, and I'd managed to get it absolutely everywhere. Disgusting? Yeah, but maybe enough to match my scent. At least until I got close enough to stab Jake.
Come on, almost there.
Tough to think about when Eric was the primary, not me. I operated more. Those instincts would serve me better than they had in the case. All of us were relying on it. It didn't take long to reach. I slunk along for the last careful not to make any since I figured Jake's beauty. Through the trees, I saw a weak light spilling from, though no sign of any movement. I needed to get closer. I glanced about, making sure the area to my left, there was only Grandma's patch, and beyond that, the walking to the river. Good to my right, my beat-up car, and the road that led down to the mountain. I focused my goggles down the roadway. Was that a fender? No, that was an entire truck. Its front end jutted out of the bushes a short way from the road. No doubt about it. That was Jake's. I wanted to fist pump the air, but I composed myself. Maybe we didn't need to fight Jake after all. If the three of us could get to his truck, we could almost definitely outrun him. Then we'd just come back in the daylight. Transformation had worn off. Perfect, I whispered. First, though, I needed to get Eric and Dad. The hard part. I dashed across the clearing, up against the cabin's wall, moving the light that still as if cast by a candle. I pulled the goggles off my head and peered inside. The place looked exactly as I remembered it, right down to the chair I'd busted the window with. No need to panic. Somewhere else then. Maybe Grandma's bedroom or the living area. I crouched back down, slipping along to the front of the cabin. Its entrance had been torn apart by Jake's, its front door missing, and its entire vestibule sagging. Even the steps that led up to the front porch were cracked and broken, probably not built to withstand the weight of the wear Sasquatch. I froze. There was a sound coming from the cabin. It sounded like moaning, long, anguished groans. I slid past the front door, following the sounds along the side of the
Groaning,
cabin.
eh? Sounds like a personal problem.
A few feet away,
Sure, it's not a hernia?
that's where the sounds were coming from.
Or
I took
something
off my
else?
vision
Did you
goggles
get something
before
stuck up
looking.
your ass?
The
That's my
wall
score.
behind us is empty. I slowly rose my head, peering inside. The fireplace was empty, just as I remembered, and I could see bits of grit back the stall where I dropped it earlier. The wicker chairs with, along with the boxes of Grandma's things, a wall. Dad sat in a chair, back across his chest, lashing into his seat.
I'm gonna try and see if my shit is still down there.
No sign of
I
Eric,
have an idea on where
no
it
sign of
is.
Jake either. I gave the window a push, unlocked. Makes sense. What did Grandma have to figure out here? The one making the monster. I opened the window quietly. so quietly that Dad hadn't noticed. Bald in the chair, his eyes big. The guy looked exhausted. I took another look around, double checking I was in before raising myself up under the windowsill. Once I was on it, I slowly lowered myself to the hardwood floor, again scanning the room. Just Dad and I. So far, so good. I creaked on a floorboard, and I froze. My heart raced. Was Jake here somewhere? Had he heard that? My hand rested on the hilt of the silver dagger instinctually. The voice in my head. Nothing. Either nobody heard the sound, or nobody was here. I made my way to Dad. I whispered, behind the rope holding the trail. No answer. Just froze. Rolled his head down, eyes milky white. I gave him a few dips.
Fucking hell, these creepers are everywhere. Jesus.
Wasted.
Oh no, Skeleton Man. Fuck you, asshole.
Another long, low groan. Dad. I let the rope drop from my hands. Taking a step back, I recognized those eyes. I'd seen them before. I took another step, and something snapped beneath my foot. I looked down. A syringe. 3 of them. Past you, Dad said. Stared at my father in disbelief. Felt wrong seeing him like this. Glassy eyed, groaning, and hardly able to keep himself upright. He'd always been simple. My life, or at least an immovable object. Nothing seemed to sway. Bulletproof. Now, though,
Ah, now I gotta pee. Shit.
he groaned and his body lurched forward. I caught him as he fell, and something slipped out of his open jacket. The syringe. I thought Jake used it to inject Eric, but this one was full. No, of course Dad wouldn't have given it to him as Eric's life. The lab had probably been full of doses like this, taking his pick while I was unconscious. I helped Dad onto the floor, laying him on his side so he couldn't fall again, or choke on his own vomit if it came to it. Then I looked back to the knee. My heart thundered as I reached for it. Several doses induce the transformation. Nolan's words. I gripped the syringe. An emerald green fluid swam inside of it, the tip of its needle covered with a thin plastic cap. I swallowed. A trail of spittle falling from his open mouth under the hardwood. Every few moments, sometimes his legs, sometimes his arms. This was that scary nose. Quietly, or if I was talking to myself or him, did this to you. He knows Nolan's dead, so he's turning one of them, aware of the weight of the dagger on the hilt, feeling of its cool side. I couldn't let that happen, I thought.
Oh,
Eyes
I'm gonna
rolled in
top
my head,
off my tea again.
or trying to. His voice was nearly gone now, barely there, but one of them, a monster, Matthew. I raced through the woods, hardly aware of the scratching at my face. I knew where I needed to be. Beyond any shadow of doubt, the river was where he'd given us, where our night, and it was where it would end. I looked over a fallen standing in a puddle of mud. Gosh, I shiver a bit, but the sensation was gone as soon as I found to be cold, to be distracted. I needed to get to Eric at my pace and with the help of the night vision. When I did, I positioned myself behind a large, thick berry bush in my proximity, enough for me to see, but not enough to be seen. I twisted the focus on the goggles, zeroing them in.
What?
Some of
Eric
this
stood in the
shit.
shoulder of the water, his back to me,
Zombie
but his
shit.
hands and
Block.
his
What?
eyes.
What is
Some
this
of
about?
this
He was
shit.
as
Block,
focused as
block,
Oh.
me,
block. One
and
B. Some of this
silent,
shit. Block, block,
gazing out
block.
over the dark river. I parted the brush enough to get a clearer view of the shoreline. Then, without seeing
I'm
encouragement,
running
I
for
couldn't
it.
prepare for him. And if I
Okay.
couldn't prepare, then I didn't have a chance. Maybe Jake wasn't here. Maybe he'd gone off for his bullshit ritual and left Eric alone. Maybe I could approach Eric now, and the two of us could get in Jake. No, that'd be too easy, too obvious. Besides, Jake knew I was still alive. If he wanted me dead, he would have made sure of it. Was he waiting for me then? That I was always horrible when it came to parsing through this. I stared at my brother for several long moments, wondering what he roles were reversed. Then a thought struck me. Why wasn't he running, trying to make a break for it? Eric was all alone out there, unless he wasn't. A twig snapped in the distance, somewhere along the riverbank, and the hairs on the back of my neck stood on end. I swallowed, holding onto the dagger with a vice grip. Another snap of the branch, followed by the shuffling sound of falling brush, lumbered from the other end of the line. He carried a black bag tucked neatly. God, he looked rough. His eyes socket, red, gaping holes, while his body was covered in fur, matted by layers of crimson. My heart raced. I had them both in my sight. Now, I just needed an opening, an opportunity to plunge the dagger that had been done. Ah, Eric, Jake said, his voice more rapid. The shotgun blast may not have killed him, but they seemed to have slowed him. Sounded pain, and his movements looked sluggish. Stopped short of Eric and dropped the garbage bag on the wall thump. On the way. He'll be here. Bye. When this is over, you'll thank me. It's a real honor, I'm telling you. Eric didn't say anything, but slumped his head forward. His silhouette, stark in the black of the night, looked like a portrait of the night. Maybe he had the right. I was too stuck by about 10 miles. He reached inside the garbage bag. Something large. I narrowed my eyes at it, looked back a wretch. It was a corpse, one mostly rotten, its fresh black with fungus growing all over its face. And I knew that face. Oh, I would have wanted to see this, Jake explained to Eric. Spent her life trying to make it happen. I brought a hand to my mouth, took to my stomach. That was Grandma's corpse. Had he kept it this whole time? Wasn't we buried at the funeral?
Mm.
There, he said, dragging
Don't
a
know.
large rock. I
Yeah,
told
right.
you I'd make it
Right?
happen, Mom.
Come
His
on, you
fingers
stupid
smoothed
thing.
little gray hair and then slowly lowered to her. So you'll be monstrous inside and out. First, he killed Karma, and now he was parading her corpse around like a doll at a kid's tea party. I squeezed the dagger.
Oh my, oh my, it sounds like a personal problem.
I can do this, I told myself. I have to do this.
Mm-mm-mm.
It didn't seem like there'd be a better opportunity. The way he sat now, looking toward Eric in the river, and his back was to me. The trouble was, he was sitting in damn near the center of
Oh,
the stone
stop it,
floor.
you
Getting
stupid
over there without
controller.
making a sound would be hard, maybe impossible. With the rocks wet from the, they were likely to think now. I ran a hand through my hair, considering the various ways this scenario might play out. Nick turned around, found me, and beat me to death. I looked at Eric, who remained as still and silent as ever. If our roles were known what to do, that was his whole shtick. Planning shit out and not paying a price for being an impulsive moron. Still, it was a role somebody had to fill. I said a quiet prayer and then moved from the brush as silently as I could. The forest floor was loamy and soft, ideal for my sneakers up with their namesake, the stone beach on the other. I paused upon reaching it, gazing forward, goggles. Jake still hadn't moved, so it sounded like he was with Grandma's corpse. A shiver ran through me. I ignored it. This was far from the weirdest thing I had seen in my life. Get off now. I stared at the slick stone, swallowed. One stray pebble clapping against another would quite literally jeopardize everything. I had to do this carefully, perfectly. Go on, Eric, Jake said. The sound of his voice nearly made my heart beat out of my chest. Well, Jim, oh, I, I don't think we should, Eric said. Have you thought this through? What do you really know about driving home? Voice was uneven, stuttering, and anxious. I thought about this for decades, Jake growled. I know you're a thief, Eric. I know that. Why, I made you host. Dusty curly hair tousled Grandma's tame hair. Paul here always felt it should have been Matt, but he's too much of a shit, you know? And driving home was the best. Eric whimpered, his fingers dancing at his sides. Still now, Jake said. I told you to stay. Still. I know, I know. I just want to try to live away. What if he's going to do something terrible? Jake chuckled, and when he spoke, his voice was laced with menace.
Yo, that villager is staring at me right through the fucking window. Hi, I see you, asshole.
Sometimes,
Fucking
Eric,
peeping Tom.
Eric, I, Eric, possibly like him. Some things greater than us, greater than anything. Eric didn't move. His feet just watched the river, his hair caught in the dying storm breeze. It'll save us, Eric, Jake said solemnly. But first, welcome him home. Now go on. There's now. Dive. Eric was silent. Dang it, Jake bellowed. Then he jumped. His voice was so loud that my ears. Eric winced as he riding on his name all the same. Again, guide him home. Drive him home. The air seemed to shift. The clouds growing darker. I wasn't an expert on dark magic, but that didn't seem like an especially positive sign. I was running out of time. Either I knew or I lost Eric forever. Jake grunted, and the sound of shifting stone filled the night. Rested his position while holding a hand over a blood matted strip of fur, most likely meant to hurt. Oh, I thought, regular punishment couldn't kill him, but it definitely still hurt. Grown, leaning back, and stones began tumbling down the street, cracking into the ribs, all splashes. Now, I stepped forward, my footsteps in concert with his movement, trying to mask my another stretch from Jake, another step from me. But then he stopped moving, comfortable at long last. I was left standing in the middle of the stone shore, halfway between the line and Jake. If I risked moving again, hear me, and then that'd be it. Game over. But if I didn't, almost there, Jake said, looking up at the darkening sky. Thinking into my sky, and you'll be sorry for it. He chuckled. Oh, my God. Eric did. Voice sounding broken, tragic, and scared.
Scared?
Pride,
The
he said.
fuck?
His
Okay.
shoulders quaked with silent sobs. Prideum, Prideum. Louder, Jake screamed. He beat the ground with one of his massive fists, but beyond the fist. Shit, I can hardly hear you over here. That answered his question. Jake's hearing in my brawl was good. I just hoped my head would go like that. I ain't gonna remind you again, boy. Say his name and be loud about it. Eric whimpered, and I felt horrible. But I needed him to speak louder, too. I needed his voice more now than ever. Prideum, he said. Prideum. Good. With each of his shouts, I stole another meter of space, and I was soon close enough that I smelled the rot and decay of Grandma's corpse. Another 2 steps, and I smelled the matted blood on Jake's fur. Being so close to him, with such a clear view, made me appreciate what a monster he truly was. I shifted the dagger in my grip, swallowing, as I tried my best to determine just how I was going to plunge this thing into his heart. Where was his heart, anyway? His torso was massive. It seemed liable to be swimming around anywhere in there. Wait, I thought, what if I didn't aim for the heart at all? Nolan had cautioned that Jake wouldn't be put down by a few slashes of silver, but maybe I could get the dagger somewhere else to slow him down. His neck?
The balls.
Or his spine?
The
If I
ball.
could hurt him enough that he couldn't hurt me back, I could finish him through the heart. It was a long shot, but then it was also my only shot. Eric shouted Prideum's name again, and I crept forward. 1 step, then another, each footfall guarded by my brother's voice, echoing across the water, over the trees, and apparently into an entirely different dimension. I made a mental note to avoid mentioning any of this to my therapist if I survived. She already thought I was crazy. A moment later, then I took the final step, coming up directly behind Jake. His matted brown fur was short and reeked of blood. Even sitting down, he was nearly 2 feet taller than me. I wouldn't be able to reach his neck, not reliably, but I could sever his spine. Something moved in my periphery, and I glanced. Eric had turned around. He was facing Jake now, facing me. No time. I raised the dagger and plunged it forward, but that moment had been enough. Jake was already moving, even as the dagger raced toward his spinal column. The dagger sank into his flesh, and he let out a shriek of pain. His wound sparked and sizzled, and he stumbled forward, writhing in agony. He was moving, though, which meant I missed his spine. Not good. I dashed forward, knowing I had a window the size of an ant to get this right. I tore the dagger from his back and raised it up, and Jake's arm caught me in the side. I let out a wheeze of surprise as my body flew backward, landing on the stone shore with a painful crunch, the goggles rolling off my head. You, Jake bellowed, rising from the rocks. Fresh blood wound its way from his lower back down the fur on his legs, and his mouth snarled, its horrible, jagged, and broken teeth dripping saliva. You can't help yourself, can you, Maddie? You're a real pain in my ass, and I don't think I care anymore. I think I'm gonna kill you. He took a step toward me, and it felt like the whole shoreline shook. Sorry, Ma, he said, glancing at Grandma's cadaver. It's him or Pride home, and I ain't got a choice. I scrambled backwards, beach stones slipping beneath my hands and feet. I knew I needed to stand up, needed to run, needed to do anything, but my body was in agony. Jake hadn't held back with that last smack, and it
Looks
was
like my
all I could
stuff is
do to
gone.
gasp
Crap.
breaths from my panicked lungs. And then I realized how screwed I really was. I'd lost the dagger. Shit. I scanned the area frantically, looking up and down the shore. I must have dropped it when Jake hit me. Where was it? There. My heart sank. It was next to a fallen tree some 30 feet away, and Jake was closing. It was far, much too far. I didn't have a choice, though. I lurched to my feet, ignoring the slicing pain tearing across my body, and then I dashed. Each footstep shot daggers through me, but I grit my teeth and ran in spite of it. Jake was faster. He leapt, his massive body crashing on the stones in front of me. Too long, he growled. Have I let you get away with your disrespect? I stepped backward, my will to fight evaporating. Jake was hurt, sure, but I was damn near dying. I wheezed another breath, tasting blood in my mouth, and dropped to a knee. The only shot I had at stopping this was on the other side of a were-Sasquatch, and I could barely move. It was
Where
so
Sasquatch?
damn it, I
Okay.
said. And I felt something warm slip
Yeah,
down
I
my
don't
cheek.
even know what's going
I
on
don't
anymore.
even know what's happening. I'm like, is this supposed to be like man, bear, pig?
Yep.
Like,
Damn you.
yeah, pretty much. That's what it sounds like to
Just
me.
get him.
Across me,
Skid him.
hit me, and I slid to a stop on my back, spitting out a mouthful of blood and up at the sky. Oh, big, I said. It hurt even to think. Hit me. I sat myself upright. He rode instead of Eric. Couldn't leave me the host. It was all I had left. I couldn't fight him anymore. I couldn't stop this, but maybe I could still save Eric. You don't deserve it, Jake said. He stepped towards me, his demeanor different now, more resolved. It didn't matter what Grandma had wanted. He was finally gonna kill me. So be it. I'd given everything I had, and honestly, I was in so much pain that dying seemed easy now. Still, I looked to Eric. I wanted him to know how sorry I was for all of us. I wanted him to know that no matter what, he was my brother, and I loved him. Eric was looking back at me, unmoving, silent, and smiling. Huh? I blinked. His eyes looked different, narrower. His face had lost the anxious framing from earlier. Now he looked calm, collected. Eric, I said, I let you live because you were family, Maddie, Jake said. I became aware that he was standing beside me now. Eric, I said more loudly. Jake gripped me by my hair and lifted me from the stones. I figured this family deserved to see the world we were making. Figured we were owed it. But my patience is shot. His other hand grabbed my arm and squeezed. The pain was unbearable. I screamed. It felt like my muscles, my tendons, and my bones were being ground to dust. He lifted me to his gaping jaws, pressing them against the side of my head. I'm gonna rip you apart, he said, limb from limb. Trees shifted in the distance. And what's more, Jake continued, his canines slick with saliva, sliding against my face with every word, I'm gonna really have a good time of it. Something rumbled in the woods, and Jake paused, sniffing at the air. I hung limp by my hair, rotating slowly before him. The rumbling grew faster, deeper, like a rock slide thundering toward us. Jake tossed me to the ground, and I groaned, my body seizing up in pain. I was faintly aware of something sharp digging into me, but I didn't have the energy or will to care anymore. Shit, Jake said. The trees parted, and something massive burst out of them. Something angry.
Something fierce.
The great creature crashed down on the shore, and the ground trembled. Its eyes were a wild purple, and its skull was pointed, with a thick, jutting brow. The beast lowered one of its massive arms to the ground, breathing furiously, each exhale marked by a plume of steam in the chilly night. Jake left me, slowly circling the newcomer. He sniffed at the air like a dog in a butcher shop, his simian hands flexing in and out. I didn't think you'd take so well to the serum. The serum? Was that thing my dad? If it was, it looked nothing like him now. It stood at least 15 feet tall, towering over Jake by 2 or 3 heads. Its skin was a mottled gray, and 2 fangs grew upward from its lower jaw. A trail of tangled, thick hair fell over its naked shoulders. It looked like a mountain troll. Or is it even you in there? Jake continued, chuckling. Maybe you just smelled the blood of an Englishman and came running on over. The troll let out a deafening screech, its voice like nails on a chalkboard turned up to 20. It dashed at Jake, but Jake was faster. His ape-like body gave him agility that the creature couldn't match, and he clambered up the thing's backside, wrapping his thick arms around its neck. Now I know where Matty gets his temper from, Jake grunted, squeezing his chokehold tighter. His dear old dad. The troll bucked and hollered, its short legs kicking up stones in every direction as it lashed about, attempting to reach Jake and toss him off. Shit, so that thing was my dad. Worse yet, Jake had him in a bad position. He lacked Jake's flexibility and apparently his capacity for human thought. Whatever self-awareness Jake and Nolan had learned over their years was missing from my father. He was near mindless, thrashing about like a rabid animal. He looked feral. Jake was distracted though. The
Ooh.
dagger gleamed lurid my
Feral.
vision, framed by the last dying rays of moonlight. If I could reach it, maybe I could catch Jake unaware and hurt him enough for Dad to get the upper hand. Once Dad had knocked him around some, I could stake the bastard and put an end to this summoning bullshit. I pressed down with my good arm, trying to use it to leverage myself upright, but the pain was unbearable. I collapsed back onto the bench, battered and broken. It was no use. I was just some guy trying to fight literal monsters, and I'd paid the price. But I wasn't alone. Eric, I called, craning my neck to look at him. He hadn't moved. On the contrary, he looked to have settled in. His eyes danced in the moonlight, and the faintest hint of a smirk played at the corners of his mouth. Eric, I shouted again. In the background, the sounds of our father's voice grew quieter, more labored. Jake's chokehold might not be able to kill him, but we'd seen with the shotgun blast that enough punishment could slow the cryptids down. Eric, look at me, for God's sake. Eric did, but it didn't seem like my brother. He looked identical to him, but his eyes were cold, dead. His anxious fidgeting had been replaced by a calm indifference. What is it, Matt? He said. The tone was all wrong. Damn it. Had the summoning finished? If it had, it lacked the climactic flair old horror movies had promised me. That's Dad, I said, looking sidelong at the wheezing troll. He needs our help. My brother walked toward me with an uncharacteristic swagger, his messy black hair swept up in the breeze. Why don't you help him then? He said. I'm a little hurt, I spat, gritting my teeth. In case you couldn't tell. Eric drew up in front of me, his skin paler than I remembered. His eyes flickered with hints of gold. We spent several long moments just staring at each other, my heart beating out of my chest. He looked perfectly comfortable, though, amused even. When he spoke, it was a word I didn't understand, something from another language. Die rule. The world began to melt away. The sounds of Jake and Dad retreated into the background. The sensations around me faded until I was surrounded only by an encroaching, suffocating darkness. What was happening? Was I dying? My mother's voice echoed around me. Please, Matthew, she wept. Please. I could see her now, her figure coming to life through the black of my memories. She wore her favorite summer dress, dotted with bright sunflowers, and on her head, a wicker gardening hat. She smiled at me. Mom, I said, my voice stronger than it had been earlier. I felt whole again here, in the depths of my memories. She brought a finger to her mouth. Shh, Eric's coming. We don't want to ruin the surprise, do we? I blinked, staring at her. I'd almost forgotten the shine of her dark hair, the playfulness in her eyes, the kindness in her smile. She was such a nice memory. Why had I avoided it for so long? The light that framed her spilled out, illuminating the hardwood floor we stood upon, and then the walls with their dull baby blue wallpaper, and finally the ceiling, where an old fan spun lazily, cooling us from the summer sun. We were in the room I shared with Eric. In each corner were our two beds, dressed in bright Power Rangers blankets. The floor was covered in action figures and unfinished rounds of board games. The memory shifted. Eric was with us in the room now, small and young, just as I was. We must have been 9 or 10. He didn't look happy, though. He was throwing toys about, stomping around the room, and screaming at Mom. I don't care about my birthday. I just don't want to hear him anymore. I want the voice to leave me alone. The voice, I thought? The bedroom began to twist, spin out of focus. I was back in the unending darkness, that blank void where my memories live. She wants this to be her last dose, Grandma said. She sounded hazy, dreamlike. Her words drifted in from somewhere in the unending abyss. She'll have one last swim, and then she wants it stopped. For all of them. She's a coward, Jake said. The memory began to build again, and I was in the outhouse. Their voices were right outside of it. Eric has all the potential, and she's jealous of him. Matthew, Grandma said. Not Eric. Matthew is the one best suited. He's less affected by the serum. But that's exactly why it needs to be Eric, Jake argued. We want somebody powerful, somebody willing to do what needs to be done. Hush. Keep your voice down. The boys might hear. Relax, Ma, Jake said with a sigh. They're swimming in the river, and Nolan's keeping an eye on them. I heard him pacing. Eric's potential is enormous, and we should be leveraging that. He's not himself on the serum, Grandma snapped. And by the way, Alice suspects you've been dosing him. I assured her that I've forbidden it, but I'm beginning to think that you're not listening to me either. Jake kicked something, a bucket or a large can. Come on, you know Alice doesn't believe in this anymore. She's killing herself fighting the damn serum. You've seen her. She looks half dead. It's her choice to make, Grandma said. I'll remind you that she's watching the boys from the water. I wouldn't try anything if I were you. Jake laughed. She's the little sister. I'd be warning her not to try anything. The memory lurched again, this time taking us back to the mountain. Except it was a bright day, and Mom, Eric, and I were on the river, sitting up on the big rock where he'd read mysteries. Mom looked more unhappy than she had earlier. Her eyes were framed by dark bags, and her posture was slouched, exhausted. Though, and I smiled back, so happy to be with her again, so happy to feel like a family again. If we catch a fish, can I kill it? Eric said. The comment caught me off guard. Eric was staring blankly into the water, his skin paler than before. He kept scratching at the back of his neck, and I saw marks there, some scabbed over. I call it, Matt. I get to kill it. Don't worry so much about that, Mom said calmly. I tried to speak too, but the words weren't there. I was an accessory to
Them
this, it
words,
seemed,
though,
and
they
nothing
weren't
more.
there.
Still, it was nice to be back here, before things had turned so bad, before that night had ruined everything.
So
Try to enjoy the
bad.
water, Mom added. It's a beautiful day. I hate the sun, Eric spat, bitterness creeping in. I want to see the cave again. Mom shifted, looking uncomfortable. Grandma told you we can't go there, sweetheart. For some reason, this memory felt familiar, though I couldn't piece what happened next. He glanced at her. Uncle Jake took me there. I know where it is. My mouth opened. Words came out, but they weren't mine. They were words I'd said
Words.
years ago.
Words just falling
Come
out of
on,
my
kid.
mouth.
Jake's letting us borrow his fishing gear, and it's a nice day. Who cares about a stupid cave? He didn't so much as glance at me, just stared back over the water, silent. My vision blurred, and the memory swept me away again. This time the change was subtle, and it couldn't have been more than a few hours later. The sun was setting now, painting the blue sky in shades of orange and red. I was reeling in a fish. Why did this feel so familiar? It gave me a horrible feeling, and I couldn't place why. Mom, I shouted. I think it's a big one. Great job, Maddie. Uncle Jake is going to be really impressed. She beamed at me,
Good.
and I felt my
This
heart
is
melt.
good.
Just in time for dinner, too, she added with a wink. I loved her so much. Missed her so much. I'd forgotten how moody Eric could be, but that didn't matter. Not really. Kids were like that after all, and we were a family here. A real one. I finished reeling the fish in and pulled the hook from its mouth. The trout flopped and squirmed on the rock, desperate to return to the river. My young stomach twisted, realizing this was the part where we had to kill it. I'd never killed anything bigger than a bug. Can I do it? Eric said, doing a poor job of masking his excitement. He eyed the fish hungrily. Mom looked tired, exhausted. Maddie caught it. I think he should. It's okay, I said. I honestly didn't think I had it in me to kill the thing. You do it. I tossed the fish to Eric, gladly, and he held it on the rock. I think it'd be easier with a knife, Eric said. Jake always uses the knife when he kills fish. He looked at our mother. His eyes drifting to the tackle box at her side. He hesitated, but opened the latches on the tackle box and pulled out Jake's gutting knife. Passed it to Eric and further. Took it eagerly before stabbing it
Where you at,
into
Lindsay?
the fish's head.
I'm right here.
And he hefted it
Yo,
again and again.
where?
What?
I haven't seen you in a while. It's not a big bridge.
And blood coated his fingers. Ah, I said, you're ruining it.
I'm back down at the treehouse because I need cobblestone. Good thing there's a
Oh,
pickaxe because I need swords.
yeah, I just used wooden ones up
And I
here.
wanted to leave. The sun inched behind the tree line, casting a shadow over the rock and over us. Shut up, Matt.
The wood ones suck though.
Eric, Mom said. A slight nervousness clicked into her tone. Held out her hand. Now, let's put away. Eric looked down at the blade, dripping with blood coated over me with the fish. Stared up at our mother. Wrong with the way he looked at her. Afraid, no. I want to keep it. Not too early, kid. I said. I was angry at her ruining my kid. Our dinner. So proud of catching it. So proud of the chicken. So was Uncle Jake. And I was proud of Eric's treatment of it. I was too young to notice the danger. But the memory stared at him. Earnest, cold, and complete. Red began mounting inside of him. But I had no way. The truth was, why this moment felt so wrong and so familiar. Sorry, Eric, Mom said more forcefully. Out of the open. I already told you. Eric said. Pulled back, clutching the knife to his chest. And you hurt me if I did that. Mother said. Her patience had run its course. Eric lashed out. Door opened straight, but cradle. I froze my young heart. No, there was no way. This couldn't have happened. All of it. Our mother had died in a river boating accident. I knew that. Eric knew that. Friday almost here. Affecting my face. I didn't think it'd take any convincing for you goes, or are you still pretending? Good, I see it. The memory kept my problem. I couldn't affect anything. I couldn't even look away. I was at the mercy. Mom tried to as well, but he caught her across the face with a knife. More blood. Oh, much blood. Stumbled backward, falling with an anguished tone. Please! Broke my paralysis. Younger me launched at them. My fear and replaced by adrenaline. Eric slammed the knife. I kicked him as hard as I could, square in the face, off of it. His body slid down the rock and fell to the beach with foam. My chest felt tight with panic, with terror. I turned to Mom, hitting in her chest, pulled over her white, a horrible crimson. I screamed for Grandma. I knew now. I was just a kid. Mom, I whimpered. Her eyes were blank, her body still. The gray of the rock had been replaced by a slick coating of red. Barking sounded in. Something struck in the back of my skull, and I dropped next to Mom. My head throbbed, and my vision blurred. Beside me, head sound. I realized then that I rolled over, disoriented, tired and instinct now. Eric showed up and flashed at me. I threw up a hand to protect my face. Blood sprayed across me. I screamed, on the blade again. Suddenly, over and over. Finally, with his other hand, he grabbed my arm out of his way, and then he was on top of me. Broke, and I was too much pain to move or react. Eyes burning cold. Quit, Eric said. He adjusted himself. The knife stabbed. My will to fight began to fail. I could feel the younger giving up. My brother was killed. I watched the memory play out in horror. That wasn't Eric. Something terrible had happened. Barking grew louder. I heard Grandma shout. His next moment, they pulled him off of me. And Eric kicked and screamed and shouted. His before going completely. Kill them, Grandma said.
Kill them.
My younger body. I felt my heartbeat. My skin grew cold. It was all I could do. The fear that if I might never open them again. Things were getting murkier by somebody appeared over them. Oh, Maddie's but you heard that. It was Jake. Help. Grandma's whimpers turned to sobbing howls. My Alex. Mom, Jake said. Hand it to me or your grandson has. I couldn't see Grandma, but she must have agreed silently, as Jake was leaning over. This time with a step, the bag and closer, and then I felt that strange sharpness pierce my forearm. Alice, Jake said, yes, body way. I don't think it goes to this. Grandma shuffled in the front. She was panting. What if it's not enough? Jake said, rising from me. And I could make it hardly there at all, but I could make out an empty stone in the satchel bag. What if she dies anyway? How are we going to explain that? A pause.
Alright, hey Lindsay, I'm about to
Yeah.
fall asleep.
Yeah,
And
me
before I fall
too.
off this bridge,
Yeah, I gotta
I'm
save
gonna
too.
save it.
I'm getting
Alright,
tired. Alright, well, good night, Jesse. Sleep tight. Hold on a minute. Let me
you
get.
too.
Alright.
Peace.
Peace.